And so, flashback to Keith, right? He's been obsessing over this case for the last few months. He's been writing about it. He even created this character for his novel called Guy Gypsum. That was his name. And this character was like a mix between Keith and Tom. He made it a point to tell everyone in town that he was leaving on this hike. And then at about 4:30 p.m., Keith was seen walking out of town towards Pendleton Mountain. And that was the last time he was ever seen, to this day even.
Welcome to Backpacker Radio, presented by The Trek, brought to you by LMNT. I am your co-host, Zach Badger Davis. Sitting to my direct right is...
Hi, I'm Juliana Chauncey, a.k.a. Chaunce.
Close call. Well, welcome, guys, to our second live podcast. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks. We have people in from a bunch of different places, which is really exciting. We have some people here to see Backpacker Radio who are fans of the show. We have some people here to see Jabba get his beard shaved off. If anyone is unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, this is a large, hairy man who hasn't shaved his beard in 10 years, and we are going to be shaving his face so that it's as smooth as mine. We actually, kudos to Zach, found a barber about 30 minutes ago, and there he is. Hi, Roy. Zach apparently walked in and said, "Does anyone want to make $50 today?" And Roy said, "I sure do." So that's really exciting. Before we bring our guest up, one quick thing. Is he out of earshot? Yeah, cool, close that door. One quick thing is, apparently he says dude a lot, so we're going to make a drinking game and not tell him about it. So if you hear him say the word dude, I'm going to try to remember this too. Cheers. If you're not drinking and you're just here to hang, have a sip of water. Hydration's really fun. But we're going to bring Jabba on stage. We're going to shave his beard. We raised $10,000 in money for hurricane relief. So that is going to go to Hurricane Helene and
10,636.
Jesus.
So if anyone here donated, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anyone listening donated, thank you guys.
Is it Feed the Carolinas?
It is Feeding the Carolinas, and yes, you guys are amazing. So thank you for everyone who contributed. By a sound of applause, who here is primarily for the beard shave?
Fuck yeah.
One kind of half raise of the beard. She didn't want to be on an island, but we're going to call her out.
Great.
Kudos to you for being honest.
And then we're just going to talk to you while we're shaving it, because apparently it takes more than a quick second. I've never shaved a beard, I don't know. But I'm going to ask you guys some questions about where you're from and everything once we're kind of past the initial excitement and in the, that part. So without further ado.
Let's bring him up.
Rachel, if you can hear me, we're ready. Come on up,
You
big
might
boy.
know him as the real hiking Viking or Jabba. I call him Tom.
Am I coming in?
You're sitting right there.
Jesus.
Our barber here, yes. Give it up for Tom.
I'm really
Tom
excited.
Jabba is an excellent sport. I give this guy more shit than probably anybody on earth, but I want to sincerely say before I get drunk and start ripping on you, Tom, this is a very gracious thing that you're doing, and I kept lowering the price on you. I'm sure you're about to give.
I said $20,000 to begin with. Zach said, whatever price you want, say it. And I was like, 20 grand. And he's like, how about 15? I'm like, okay. And then a week later, he's like 10. I'm a little worried that we're not going to make 15. And I'm like, this is bullshit. I was like, but it's for a good cause. All right. So that's all that matters, really.
Yeah.
I do think alcohol came into play. You don't have to wait on us.
I don't drink.
Yeah.
Tom's year of sobriety is going great.
There was a night where I just get a text message and it's a photo of the two of them drunk at a bar, and Zach said if we raise $10,000, Jabba's going to shave his beard. And I was like, what? And he said he just agreed to it.
Yeah.
And I'm not arguing.
It's funny. It was actually a bar a half block from here, Badger's Bar, and I think I originally pitched $50,000, and I've just. Yeah.
And I was like, dude, how about 20?
Yeah.
I was like, how about $20,000? I was like, you're crazy.
And then
he was drunker than me at the time.
And then once he committed, I dropped the price again. So it's just a good negotiation on my part. Yeah.
And since we have a lot of people with beards in the audience, Roy, what's the name of your barbershop?
Clipper Over Comb, right there on Ellsworth and Broadway. Come check us out.
Hell yeah. They take walk-ins and they take walk-outs. So, yeah, take the hat off. He's going to be so smooth.
So for anyone listening
we-
to this, just getting the audio experience, this is a good plug for the YouTube because this is going to be a very visual part of the show here.
Can we get a shave the beard chant? Like a shave the beard. Shave the beard.
Go half. Go half.
Don't tell him how to do his job.
Just give me half first, right? You know what I mean? Give me half a face. Give me half a face. Leave. And by the way, actually,
The amount of oh no's I'm hearing. My God.
do everything but the mustache first.
Roy, how much do you love someone telling you how to do your job?
Love it. Absolutely.
Just a little micromanaging happening.
Shut the fuck up, Sean.
Okay. Well, while this is going, just to get some energy flowing, who here is from Denver? Who here just quick, short little jaunt coming over? We didn't do this on a weeknight this time, so who here came from Colorado Springs? Less traffic than last time? No? Okay, well, fuck us then. Who here came down from Boulder? Any boulders? We got some boulders. Who here came from out of state? Oh, a couple people. Shout out where you came from. If you're in the U.S. and you came from out of state. Arizona?
Let's go.
Oh, a lot of Arizonas. Make some
Are all of
noise.
our out-of-staters from Arizona? Michigan. All
Oh,
right. Hell
you
yeah.
flew in just for this, or did you have something else? Okay, cool.
That was a really good opportunity to lie to
expected.
us.
Who here came from out of country?
Okay, now stop.
Whoa, out of the country.
And where did you come from? Alberta. So this is Rebecca. She tagged us in a story yesterday saying that she was flying in from Alberta, and I messaged her and I said, "There's no way that you're coming just for this, right? Like you have something else and you're happening to come." And her response was, and this is very strange to me, coming from me being from New York, is in addition to coming for this, she wanted to get some good pizza.
Fuck me running.
As a New Yorker, that doesn't make any sense to me. However, Rebecca, since I rightly assumed you probably came from the furthest distance, got you some pizza.
Right now, I've got a
So you can chew on this while we watch. Now both your wishes came true.
whole crew of people taking photos.
Holy shit.
Yeah, for those who are just listening, they understand this is chaotic. You have to be at the live experience to get this.
Halfway through. Like a bride at the altar.
No way. All the way down.
I want it to look like a little Q-tip when we're done.
Okay, we're gonna shave Chauncey's head next.
Yikes.
Okay. I'm going to not bring Kyle up yet because this is the juicy part of the beard shave process, so we're going to stall a little bit.
Okay, she's so sorry. Help. He's really.
How's the pizza?
Where's
oh, you
my-
haven't
there we
started
go.
eating it. Can we watch you eat food?
Watch her eat. Watch her eat.
Cold pizza is the best. Yeah. You already ate pizza, didn't you?
I did. I had some.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
I literally regret my decision.
I feel.
So wrong.
I can't look away.
This is so wrong.
I can.
How
hold
you
it.
feeling right now?
Big time regret. Very violated.
Would anyone like this? A souvenir?
It belongs to me.
You want it?
It belongs to me. It belongs to me.
His girlfriend says no.
That's the most hair I've had in my head in years. Oh. I need a tan stat. We're going to Mexico in January, right?
That's right.
All right, let's
Ready?
fucking go.
Chin up.
Hate it. Hate it with a passion. People are hungry and thirsty. This is what it's for. It's all that matters.
Yep.
No one here is hungry anymore.
This shit grows back. I'll be a conquistador after this. Yes. I'll get a Spanish accent. Leave the soul patch too, bro.
That's insane.
I'm just kidding. This is fucked up.
That's so fucked up.
Oh my God.
Last little bit. Here we go. You said soul patch, right?
Yeah. All right. If anybody needs you to sign their Magna Carta or something, I'll do it.
Doc Holliday.
Ah, fuck.
Let's go. Say bye-bye.
You got a little on the very, very bottom of your neck.
We'll get there.
We're leaving that.
Shit. Fucking fuck. You guys ever see that new Sonic movie?
Oh, you're Dr. Robotnik.
Which means I'm evil. I'm out. All right, let's fucking go. This is 6 minutes long.
Ready?
I'm gonna go kill myself. This is terrible.
Mustache drill?
Mustache.
Mustache drill?
Mustache. Leave a little in the middle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a little.
For the people.
Yeah.
Stop talking. You gotta
Obviously
stay
joking.
still.
Obviously joking.
From Austria.
Okay, I'm from Austria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Imagine he just had like a giant mole that he's been hiding all these years.
Right here.
Yeah, mole. Who said that?
Yep. Yep.
Everyone take a photo right now.
Best caption wins.
We're having fun. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Nowhere to hide now.
Ah! This is fucked.
I don't know if it's been stated, but Tom's girlfriend is right there, and she's covering her mouth, trying not to vomit right now.
Take your photos. All right. All right, get this off me. I'm dying.
This is sort of like the day your kids are born. You've anticipated what it's going to look like for so long, and then it happens. You're like, I could have never imagined. It's even more magical.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Tom, you got a little something right. That
Just
sounds
nose
girlfriend.
hairs. Just nose hairs, real quick. Those matter now. All right, next nose hairs. Thanks, man. All right, we're good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Roy.
Yeah, Roy. Let's go, Roy. Let's go, Roy. Let's go, Roy. Let's go, Roy.
And one more round of applause for Jabba, the true sport in all of this.
No.
Who's
Straight
the,
razor.
Who's the guy from Adam's Family that doesn't? He's bald and he's got like Uncle Fester. You look like Uncle Fester. in the best way.
This is what I looked like in boot camp in 2005.
Hoorah.
That's the last time I looked like this. 2005. Still doing it for the people, babe. Shaving it for the peeps. Lifelong goal.
Okay.
I don't know him.
He's a stranger now.
I think if you said hi to
Kate,
me
you're
on
gonna
the
have a lot of
street, I
fun with
wouldn't
this
know who
tonight.
you
You
were.
get a whole new experience.
Nobody wanted this, really. Nobody. All right, I guess I'm gonna look at myself now.
Are we gonna do the straight razor? How long do you think it'll take? Tom, you got an extra 20 minutes for a straight raise?
You paid for it, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's go. But we're gonna do that off in the background. We're gonna bring our
Maybe like 3 shots of anything and
Yeah.
a couple of shotguns of something else. Because this is going to hurt for a while.
That can be arranged.
Okay. Jabba is a hero. $10,000 for feeding the Carolinas. A very good cause for our enjoyment.
Yeah.
He's a good man, babe.
Cool.
Okay. We got a couple of reminders before we get to today's awesome guest. If you're listening to this and you're like, I would love to go to a live podcast. I didn't know you were doing a live podcast. Well, fuck you, because we posted this through the Trex newsletter, so you guys should subscribe to that.
Literally everywhere.
The link will be in the show notes. We will actually be bringing this circus, if Jabba can grow his beard fast enough, to Austin, Texas later in the spring.
We're bringing Jabba?
No.
I was going to say, we
That
wrote
was
that out.
Yeah, that was a false promise.
No longer worth anything.
After you broke my face, you're not allowed to come anymore.
If you live in the Austin area, it is April 17th. I should have taken notes on where this is. What's the venue?
It's Captain Quack's Sound Space.
Does anyone here know what that is? No. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it's a place.
It's a place. It's a real place that exists.
I swear to God, it's real.
Yeah. They
Garrett,
just asked for our credit card number and social security number.
Garrett
so
looked it
sounds-
up. He says it's in a good area.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if you're in the Austin area, April 17th, we have a super secret awesome guest for that one. It's going to be a ton of fun.
We're going to fly them in.
Yeah. Last plug here is if you guys want to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/backpackerradio. That's actually going to be the first place where Jabba's beard shave is going to go. Elise was capturing it on her phone. We're going to upload it to YouTube and share it on private with our Patreon supporters and obviously all of you wonderful people. So patreon.com/backpackerradio. Without further ado, let's get to today's guest. He is a recurring guest at this point, Kyle O'Grady of Kyle Hates Hiking. Kyle has...
Is this for me?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
it's our backup.
Kyle has backpacked the Long Trail, Appalachian Trail, Northville Placid Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, Ouachita Trail, in addition to a variety of other peak bagging and hiking feats. Kyle has grown his popular YouTube channel to 536,000 subscribers. Holy fuck, dude.
That's a lot.
Featuring his hikes, gear, and outdoor mysteries and scary stories. Kyle, thank you so much for joining us here on Backpacker Radio.
Thank you. And thank you guys for coming, too. Really appreciate it. If anyone here only is here because of my mystery videos and you're not really a hiker and a thru hiker, you're probably very confused at what you just watched, honestly. It's going to be...
By a show of hands, how many do we have? I saw one in the back. Already throw the... Okay.
I appreciate you guys very much.
exist.
Thank you.
Really-
You're going to be
exist.
showing a lot of
Yeah.
new stuff tonight, and I hope you enjoy it. And I do appreciate it. Thank you. And
That's
everybody.
We've
everyone
all
that's here.
seen something new tonight.
That's an important call out because I think your Kyle Hates Hiking brand is pretty different than the
Yeah.
Backpacker
Oh,
Radio
yeah.
brand. So
Yeah, backpackers hate me
apologies.
now,
Yeah,
dude.
we didn't really put the explicit warning on the ticket.
Yeah.
So
I got a
Backpackers-
mystery to share later, so
Backpackers hate you now?
I was joking.
Oh, okay.
Some
Isaac,
do.
tell us
You
more
should see
about
my
that.
comment section,
Really?
but no, it's all good.
Okay.
It's cool.
So you were on the podcast a year ago now. You've doubled your subscribers since that time.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think about that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What has the ascent been like for you?
That makes it sound way cooler than it actually was.
It's not uncool. It's not uncool. It is cool.
I mean, it is cool. And again, I'm very grateful for everyone who watches. I mean, we've just been grinding, dude. We've just been going at it. I wish I had some crazy thing to say, but
Jabba had asked for those 3 tequila shots, and Josh got him them. So that's what the sound in the background is. I think did he do all 3? All right. Blink and you'll miss it.
Jabba is also being very patient right now because he's watching his clock because he's got a Penn State game. And he is very adamant on not missing a second
I'm
of.
out of here as soon as this is over. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, it's so weird to hear that voice out of that face. We'll never get over that. Yeah, so in the evolution of building your channel, have you changed anything? Or are you just doubling down on what you've done prior?
you mean over the past year?
Yeah.
I think our videos have gotten better. I think we're putting more into our research and our editing and all this stuff. But other than that, I wish I had a better answer for you, Zach. It's a good question, but no, I think we're just focused on getting better.
I will
honestly.
give you props. The production quality, I watched a handful of your recent videos, and the production quality is it's like a 60 minutes caliber video.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. And you downplayed the ascent of doubling your subscribers, but since we last chat, you added a full-time employee to your operation.
That's true. He's where is he?
Levi.
Levi.
There he is.
Oh, he's back. He's in the back there with the camera. Levi's the man, everyone. Give it up for Levi. I wouldn't have gotten to whatever 530 whatever thousand without
Yeah.
Levi. That's absolutely true. So appreciate you, man.
If anyone's here and they don't know about your channel, what kind of videos do you do?
So I'll give you a little bit of history. Started as through hiking, backpacking, very niche stuff, the kind of stuff y'all talk about, and very not serious stuff too. Like I had this like weird. I was trying to be funny. Whether or not I was actually funny is up for debate. A lot of my commenters would say that I wasn't, but a few would say that I was. But then I kind of stumbled into this. I call it mystery thing. Sometimes it's like true crime, hikers who have disappeared, various trail mysteries, outdoor mysteries. We're kind of broadening, getting broader with the kind of stories we cover, and that's pretty much where it's at now. And obviously, we've had a lot of growth and a lot of success, and it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing.
Yeah. Super fun for me to watch you just become a superstar.
Superstar.
A superstar. I don't
You
know.
got 500,000 subscribers. That's superstar.
That's not a superstar.
I've watched
Is
in
it?
your videos, you say that your goal is to hit 1 million subscribers. You're going to do that. If you have 1 million subscribers, you are a
Okay,
superstar.
but I'm not there. I'm barely halfway there, dude.
All right, shut up. Well, so I know...
I might lose some after tonight. We'll see.
Yeah, right. You probably will. So
We'll see.
you'll never associate with us again. This is the thing that we've teased, obviously, all along, is that you were going to unveil a brand new trail mystery.
We getting into it?
Yeah, so for those of you who are not familiar with the Kyle Hates Hiking channel, you're about to get a deep taste of it. A deep taste? That sounds sexual.
Oh no, that's gonna take way.
A full load. How about that?
All right. So, are you guys gonna interject while I'm doing this?
Would you like us to?
Impossible not to.
Whatever. I mean, Chance kind of said she would earlier, so that's what I kind of assumed.
Okay. We'll be sure to throw you
I
off your
can't
game.
hold my questions till
Yeah.
the end.
Yeah. No. Shout them
Not
out.
capable.
So, any of you who see my videos before, this is gonna be a little different. I've got some notes here, but I'm gonna try to kind of riff it for the most part. Go off memory versus reading a script like an idiot, like I usually do when I'm on YouTube. And so, if I stumble a little bit, if I seem a lot less elegant than I normally do, which would be very generous to describe me that way anyways, that's why. But we're going to go for it. And I actually chose a local story, somewhat local, to cover for this one. Have any of you ever heard of a place called Silver Plume, Colorado before? Does anyone know what story I'm going to tell? Okay, that's good. So, for those of you that don't know, if you were to leave the venue, head west for a few minutes, get on 70, and then drive, continue west for about 40 minutes, you'd reach Silver Plume. And I'm guessing a lot of you that aren't familiar with Silver Plume have probably driven by it before, and you probably didn't even notice it there. It was there because it's such a small little town. I drove by it yesterday for the first time, and I had driven through there before, and again, I wouldn't have even noticed it. And so we're going to go back to 1988, a long time ago. There's this dude. Oh, shit, sorry, dude.
It's not that
I
long
forgot.
ago, man.
Fuck.
Some of us were alive then.
This is
Son
the
of a
kind of
bitch.
thing I would say in one of my videos and not even realize it, and then I'd start to get comments like,
old people
"Fuck you, dude,"
commenting.
like,
Yeah.
it's not that long ago.
Actually, in the scope of human history, it's not that long.
Oh, man, this is going to go off the rails.
Yeah, this
dude.
is going really well.
I'm going to get canceled, dude, because this is such a
What?
fun, funny podcast, and this is such a serious story. I'm going to try that. Okay, so 1988 was basically yesterday, let's be honest. There's this dude named Keith Reinhardt. He's from Chicago originally. He's about to turn 50, super young, and now I'm just being he's about to turn 50, and he's going through a midlife crisis, dude. He's got like the picture perfect family, the picture perfect life going on. He's got a wife, he's got a couple kids, he's got a good job, sports writer for a local newspaper. lives in the suburbs of Chicago, but something just doesn't feel right for Keith. He feels like he's getting older, but he still has some energy. He still has some life left in him, but it's dwindling, right? And he wants to make the most of it before he starts to, get too old. And so
He goes on testosterone.
no, this is
He takes up bird watching.
no, he doesn't. He moves to Silver Plume. That's what he does. So
That's my next guest.
temporarily, I should say. So his wife lets him go on this 3-month journey to Silver Plume, and he actually has a friend there named Ted, a childhood friend who had moved from Chicago to Silver Plume. And Ted has a cafe right on Main Street. It's one of the only streets in Silver Plume, at least according to Google Maps, and from what I saw yesterday on the interstate. And so he wants to. I don't know. He's going through a midlife crisis, and he moves to Silver Plume with a few goals. And he doesn't have much time to accomplish these goals, by the way. He wants to get in better shape. He wants to go hiking. He wants to be in the mountains and enjoy this.
Sorry.
What are we?
Do
doing
you
the
usually deal
eyebrows
with
now?
this during your videos?
For those who are listening to this in their earbuds, Jabba just pulled out his vibrator.
It looks like
Don't
he's
bother me,
tasing
I'm
himself.
busy.
Which will transition really well when we get to our Triple Crown.
When I rehearsed this story, I did not expect to be interrupted by this.
Yeah. No, this is good. This is perfect.
It honestly makes it better. So Keith moves to Silver Plume. He's got 3 months, and his 2 main goals are to open up an antique shop right on Main Street and be successful enough that he can move there full time and move his wife there full time. And his other main goal is to write a novel. Again, he's a sports writer, he's a journalist, and he wants to write this novel, but he doesn't know what he's going to write about yet. He just has this ambition. And so he moves there.
I didn't know who that was. I swear to I know what's happening, but I just turned and I was like, holy shit, someone's on stage.
We're doing this.
He's bleeding. Did anybody see that?
That's a good,
You're bleeding, bro.
that's a good thing you did, buddy. There's a little blood, though. I won't lie. There's some blood. Yeah. You don't say, Roy. You don't say.
He's a little bit of a talker.
The burn?
So Keith wants to open an antique shop.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, wait till we get to the suicide part of this story. Okay, so he wants to open this antique shop, but he only has 3 months to make it successful because he has 3 months to convince his wife, basically, that it's viable for them to move down there full time. And again, he also wants to write this novel. Those are his 2 main goals, and there's a lot of pressure. Like I said, he's going through this midlife crisis. It's tough, man. Keith's got it rough, and he moves down there towards the beginning of the summer. He gets settled in, and then he starts talking to people throughout town. And again, this town is tiny as fuck, so word spreads fast, and he very quickly learns that just a few months prior, the previous summer, I want to say, this guy that lived in Silver Plume named Tom Young had closed up his bookshop on Main Street one day, grabbed his dog, and then walked into the mountains, presumably, and then just disappeared. Nobody knew what happened. It was this big mystery. And Keith very quickly learns that this missing dude, this Tom Young guy, was operating his business out of the same shop that Keith just signed a lease for, right on Main Street. And so Keith is like, that's kind of crazy. And he starts to get obsessed with this case. He's talking to everyone in town that knew Tom. He's trying to get as much information as he possibly can. And nobody knows what happened to this guy. This Tom Young guy actually had told friends and family that he was going to be going to Europe. And so he was missing for a few weeks before anybody realized, because they thought he was in Paris or whatever, Then 3 weeks go by and they're like, oh shit, where's Tom? Tom's gone. That's not good. And his dog's gone too. And so Keith becomes obsessed with this case. And like I said, he wanted to write this novel, and just like that, he's got the perfect thing to base his novel off of, right? Not only is it happening, is this disappearance related to the town he's in, but it's literally the same building that he's working out of every single day. And it was just a few months before before Keith moved in that Tom disappeared. And so some time goes by, about 2 months, June, July, and then I'm trying to time it from when Jabba's leaving.
Hey, we're good. Keep going.
A few months go by.
That was an orgasm
Maybe
joke.
I should have chosen I should have chosen a happier story, maybe.
No, this is perfect. Also, the irony of the guy being named Tom Young is very rich.
I've been listening.
Tom looks very young right now. Anyways.
Yeah. So a few months go by, June, July, and Tom's body is found eventually. It's found on the slopes of Republican Mountain, which is like just outside of town. You could literally walk there from the town because Silver Plume, again, most of you probably know this if you've driven I-70 through the mountains there. It's the road and the towns there are just kind of sandwiched in between the mountains, steep, brutal mountains on each side.
Quick interjection. Has anyone hiked Republic Mountain?
I don't know if there's a trail up it.
Have you?
Great.
Are you just saying that?
Great mountain.
Just saying that. Cool. Okay, we can all add that to our bucket list. As you were.
I don't know if there's a trail up it, to be honest. I looked on like Gaia just briefly to see because I was curious. And anyways, there was actually some hunters that found him. This Tom Young guy. They were out in I think it was July 31st. They were out scouting for the upcoming hunting season. And
Let's take a quick pause. Cheers for Tom doing that for charity, guys. Jabba, what a hero. What a hero. We
big
love him.
hero.
Everyone put in a quiet little positive thought for Penn State. That way Jabba's day is not completely
If
ruined.
Penn State wins, I think it's a wash for him today.
Even if they lose.
Yeah. I should have chosen a happier story, man.
I don't think there's any happy trail mystery stories.
I don't choose many happy stories for my channel, to be honest.
Yeah.
I did find one.
Actually, that's
We're gonna talk
true.
about it
We're going
later,
to talk about that. But anyway, so they find Tom Young's body. He'd been missing for about 9 months at this point. And the hunters that found him found a revolver next to his body. And they found, this is where we're going to get a little dark here, they found a bullet hole in his head and his dog's head as well.
Oh, shit.
And so,
Bad man.
obviously...
So the dog shot him and then committed suicide?
These are the kind of jokes I want to make when I'm doing my videos, but I know I can't make.
You're in a safe space
So
here.
you can make them if you want, Zach. Please, actually, they're pretty funny, but I can't. Maybe tonight we can, but yeah, let's just shit on the people that died. But no, we're not going to do that. Obviously, we're not going to do that. Well, Zach is, but I'm not going to do that. Chance,
It was
feel
so
free to do
long
that.
ago. Who even's alive?
Not Tom.
I was collecting my face cubes. Hold on.
He's selling
What
him on
did he say?
OnlyFans. Don't look at him.
Oh, shit.
Stuff them in your pants.
Stop on the face cubes, people. Money in these face cubes.
Is he just...
He literally stuffed it into his pocket. That'll be there forever.
I had never met that dude until tonight, but I had heard a lot of stories, mostly from Zach, and he's definitely living up to him.
Yeah.
We were in the green
That
room
guy's nuts,
downstairs.
dude.
Green room, you're like,
Oh,
are
that's
you
fine,
always
Tom.
like this?
I didn't know if he was just really hyped because he was shaving his famous beard.
He
but-
was so tame compared to how he usually is,
Yeah.
which is great. Okay, so Tom and
Okay,
his
yeah,
poor
so-
dog.
So, unfortunately, it appears as though Tom Young hiked up this mountain. He told everyone he was going to Europe. He kind of created this diversion, to try to, I guess, so that people wouldn't find him. And then he goes up there, and it appears as though he ended his life and his dog's life. And so, flashback to Keith, right? He's been obsessing over this case for the last few months. He's been writing about it. He even created this character for his novel called Guy Gypsum. That was his name, and this character was like a mix between Keith and Tom. He's just obsessed with this case to the point even where some of his friends and family couldn't even tell sometimes whether Keith was being Keith or if he was kind of acting as this Guy Gypsum character, almost like this tortured artist thing where he's like trying to live through his character that he's developing.
Question: Does
yeah.
Keith know that Tom's dead at this point, or is
Oh, we're
it
gonna
still a
get there.
mystery? He
We're
doesn't
gonna
know
get
yet.
there. So he finds out just like everyone else. Again, this is a small town. Word spreads fast, and so almost as soon as Tom Young is found, Keith finds out, and the whole town is talking about it. Everyone's paying attention to this story, but no one's paying closer attention than Keith. He's developing this novel. I can't stress this enough. He's working in the same space as Tom was right before Tom disappeared. And so he's taking this in, and he's developing this novel about Tom, and so now all of a sudden he's got this like conclusion to his story. It's just a weird position to be in. And then about a week later, August 7th, Keith closes his shop a little bit early, and then he walks over to his friend Ted's Cafe, right there on Main Street. And he tells Ted that he's going to be going on a hike up Pendleton Mountain, which is, again, Silver Plume's kind of in the V of the mountains. It's on the other side of Republican Mountain. But again, a couple miles from town to summit as the crow flies. And so he tells Ted he's going on this hike. And Ted doesn't believe him because it's like 3 p.m. By the time he gets going, it's going to be even later. Tom's not like a huge hiker. He's not like Zach or Chance here or Jabba, or a lot of you in the audience. I left myself out there. He's not a huge hiker, and it's known to Ted that Keith doesn't like to hike alone. He's got this fear of heights. It's something he's working on. Again, that's a reason why he went to Silver Plume in the first place, but it just seems weird that he would go on this solo hike at 3 o'clock, by himself. I guess that's what a solo hike is, but, these are the things we cut out when I'm filming. I don't get that luxury here. But so Ted doesn't believe him that he's going on this hike. He's like, yeah, dude, whatever, sure. And Keith tells Ted to call rescue if he doesn't, come to work the next morning, if he disappears. And Ted's like, sure, yeah, whatever, man. Keith didn't even have a water bottle. He didn't have a headlamp, certainly. Did those even exist in 1988? I'm not sure.
That was before electricity.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So long ago, but when you guys watch the YouTube version of this in a couple months, it's going to look way different than the way I'm telling it now. Probably less profanity and laughing. But another strange thing. So after Keith leaves Ted's Cafe, after he tells him he's going on this hike, he went around through town. And again, this wasn't that much effort because this town is probably less people than this venue does right now. But he just starts telling everyone in town that he's going on this hike. He made it a point to tell everyone in town that he was leaving on this hike. And just like Ted, nobody believed him. They were like, yeah, dude, whatever. They thought he was just making small talk or whatever. No one believed him. And then at about 4:30 p.m., Keith was seen walking out of town towards Pendleton Mountain. And that was the last time he was ever seen, to this day even. He was never found, unlike Tom Young. And it's very strange that these two men that were renting the same exact space for their businesses both disappeared within, less than a year. And it gets even stranger because obviously they started searching for him when Ted realized that Keith was serious and he didn't show up the next morning, right? And by the way, they went all out in this search. This wasn't like a half-assed search. They brought in helicopters, like 12 different dogs, over 100 ground searchers. And there's actually a search and rescue organization that was searching for him, if I can find it. Alpine Rescue Team is what they're called. And up until this point, they had a perfect record. They had never not found someone that they were searching for. They had always gone out there and gotten the job done. And they had been around for 30 years at this point.
Not
But,
that long.
what's that?
Not that long.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And so they're out there, they're searching really hard. Again, they never found him. Keith broke their streak. He was the first person they never found. And while everyone was searching in the woods for him on the slopes of Pendleton Mountain, Keith's friends and his family, wanted to do their part, and so they started searching his like personal belongings, trying to find clues and stuff. And they stumbled across his workstation, where he had his computer and where he was writing this novel. And when they found the computer, the first thing, or his workstation, the first thing they noticed was that he had a newspaper open, and it was open to a story about Tom Young. Again, Tom Young's body was found a week before Keith disappeared. And the headline, if I can find it here, the headline read, "Tom Young's body found." And so he was obviously like immersed in this. He was obviously reading this headline, when he got up from his computer for the final time. And then they actually looked on the computer, right? And they found his novel. It wasn't finished yet, but the last sentence was quite eerie and quite strange. And so, if I can find that sentence to read
You've
for you.
only got 3 papers. You've shuffled through these 3 papers like 8 times in the
like
past
the
20
first time
seconds.
I've looked at these notes. Here it is. Okay, so again, the character for Keith's novel was named Guy Gypsum. And so the final line of what he had written so far was as follows. Guy Gypsum changed into some hiking boots and donned a heavy flannel shirt. He understood Tom now and his motivation. Guy closed the door, then walked off towards the lush, shadowless Colorado forest above. And that was it. And so the obvious question is, what happened to Keith, right? And I think probably the most, I'll speak for myself. I shouldn't speak for other people. To me, it seems like Keith ending his life is the most probable theory. Although all these theories I'm going to go through now are total speculation because we don't know. He still hasn't been found to this day. There was some chatter I read in some Reddit forums and stuff that his wallet had been found just a couple years ago, but I didn't see any official reporting about it. So I don't want to sit up here and say for sure that happened. I'm not sure. It seemed like some rumors to me, but we'll see.
What was the resolution with him trying to get his wife out there?
He didn't. He died.
That was just like a unofficial
I mean,
divorce
to be
back in the
honest.
80s. It's just she didn't move, so now we're separated.
I don't think they got that far. He was trying to make enough money in those couple months that it would seem viable for them to move down there. Actually, I did forget to mention, Zach, that after 2 months, and this actually kind of leads into this potential suicide theory, after a couple months, it was not going well. He wasn't broke or anything, but he clearly was not making enough money to make this silver plume dream happen. And then he was so immersed in this novel, in this story that he was writing. There's a lot of people that think, and this sounds kind of crazy, so I don't know, maybe this didn't happen. We don't know for sure. But there's a lot of people that think he just was so immersed in this character that when he learned that Tom Young had gone up into the woods and killed himself, he just had this compulsion to kind of follow him and do the same thing, and his body was just never found.
I've got 2 theories.
What are your theories, Chance?
The first is about Tom, because I want to give the guy the benefit of the doubt, because anyone who shoots a dog, in my mind, is the worst person ever.
It's not great. It's not great.
I would like to think that he got lost and couldn't find his way back and got to the point where he knew they were just going to starve to death, and he thought it would be kinder. I'd like to think that maybe that was hey, I can't find my way back. I don't want this dog roaming the mountains and getting eaten by a mountain lion and starving to death. It'll be kinder for the both of us.
We call that a mercy killing.
Yes, I would like to think of it as that, because this is causing me a lot of stress. I'm sorry. I just think
I
of
told you
Harper.
it wasn't a happy story.
And then my second theory is, how a lot of times when people die and then their book gets famous, maybe they didn't find his body because he was intentionally trying to hide or disappear, so that when they found the book and that was the last line, then it would be one of those novels that post whatever the word is,
It could have been.
blows up.
That's a good theory. But
Those are my
unfortunately,
two.
he hadn't finished the novel. That's the only problem.
It sounds like a good last sentence.
It was a good last sentence.
Yeah.
John's
Sounds
just
done
finishing
to
it
me.
right now
It
for
sounds
him.
done to me.
So it's interesting you bring up the dog thing, wanting to think that no one would harm an animal like that. And so there's actually another theory that both Tom and Keith didn't end their lives, but were actually murdered. And again, there's no hard evidence for any of this, obviously, but there's some speculation. So apparently the firearm that was found next to Tom and his dog was so like degraded from a winter in the Colorado mountains that they weren't able to do ballistics testing. So they were never able to prove that that was the firearm that was used to end Tom's life. And so there's some speculation there. Well, maybe it was a plant gun. You know, maybe someone else killed him because we can't say for sure that he did it. And another potential piece of evidence that supports this theory is that those who were close to Tom felt like he wouldn't be able to harm his dog. And so to them, the fact that the dog was clearly shot as well was, you know, evidence that that Tom didn't do it, because even if he did want to take his own life, you know, why did he need to bring the dog into it? And so there is a little speculation there. And also the fact that both Keith...
Were there bullet holes in the dog? I
Yes,
feel like that
yes,
would-
the dog was shot.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Murder or suicide are the only options here.
for Tom, yeah.
Yeah.
For Tom. There's
What
another
about
option
the
for...
dog?
I
There's
mean,
another option for the dog?
No, but there's another option for Keith,
Oh,
which I'm going to get into. So
I thought you were saying
the
Julie.
dog got shot, for
Yeah.
sure. There's no getting around that. I'm sorry. I wish that wasn't the case, but I wish it wasn't the case for any of these gentlemen, for that matter. But because Tom and Keith were renting the same building, and they both, you know, disappeared, and you know,
Witchcraft.
that's one theory. I'm sure there'll be some of that in the comments when I post this video eventually. But because they were both in the same building, there's speculation that that had something to do with the fact that they both, you know, presumably died. Like maybe they knew something that no one else knew by being in that building, which sounds a little ridiculous. Or maybe Tom did kill himself and the dog, unfortunately. And then Keith, through all this obsession and digging he was doing for his novel, maybe Keith uncovered something. Excuse me, I totally misspoke there. Maybe Tom was murdered is what I meant to say. And through all the digging that Keith was doing for his novel, he found out something that, you know, pointed to the fact that Tom was murdered, even though it was ruled a suicide. And then Keith was disappeared too because of that. He knew too much, that kind of thing. Again, it's all speculation. Nobody really knows.
Rocky Mountain Mafia.
Sure, it could have been, dude. Silver Plume's a dangerous place, but
Well, I think it's interesting that he chose to go up Pendleton and not Republic, because you would think he would choose to go up Republic unless he found that maybe there's a creepy guy who's hiding out on Pendleton, and he was like, I'm gonna go get him.
but we don't know for sure if Keith went up Pendleton because he was never found. So maybe, just like Tom potentially had done, where he put this aversion out where, oh, I'm going to Europe. Maybe Keith said, maybe that's why he made it a point to tell everyone that he was going to be going on this hike. Maybe he did that and told everyone he was going up Pendleton, and then he went somewhere else to end
Maybe
his
he's
life.
here. Maybe. How wild would that be?
Any Keiths here
All right,
tonight?
round of applause. Who's Keith?
There he is.
We got
No.
one.
Is your name really Keith? No. Oh, okay. Is anyone's?
What does he look like? He's 100 years old? That was an 88.
Yeah, he would be really old by now.
But anyways, that's okay. I guess then the last theory is that Tom did in fact end his life, unfortunately, and his dogs. So like I said, just gonna keep rubbing that in for chance. Yeah, people are gonna love me if I do that. And then Keith just made an impulsive decision to go hike one day, and you know, it seems like a strange decision to go hike, you know, in the afternoon when you're not a big hiker and you don't have any of the gear. It seems like, you know, most of us in the audience that are hikers would never do that, you know, do something that unprepared. But maybe he's going through this midlife crisis. Maybe he just had this impulsive thing, and he made this impulsive decision, and he really did go hike. And predictably, there was an accident, or he got caught in the dark, and then he just died as a result, and we never found him. That certainly is plausible as well. And so, I don't know. But if any of you are ever hiking in Silver Plume, keep your eyes peeled. You never know. You might accidentally stumble into the answer for one of the bigger mysteries in Colorado outdoor history. So,
Interesting.
Well, hell
yeah,
yeah.
keep your eyes peeled.
Round of applause for Kyle for unveiling an
Yeah.
exclusive trail
Thank you.
mystery here on Backpacker Radio.
I just got to say, so like, thank you guys. So like my channel before I got into this mystery stuff was very not serious. Again, whether it was actually funny is up for debate, but you know, that was the intention at least, was to try to be funny. And then I stumbled into this very serious thing, and like Levi and I have been talking a lot lately about how we can make the videos better, like we're always doing. And I'm trying to show like more personality in the videos instead of just being a newscaster who just sits there and reads the script. I've kind of fallen into that a little bit. And so one of the ideas to bring out more personality was to incorporate more humor, right?
How do you think this went?
I don't know. That's why I'm curious. Like, this is going to be a good experiment to see how it's
Yeah.
received, honestly. Because, like, I don't ever think I'll be making jokes at the expense of the people that I'm talking about in the stories,
That
the
probably
victims.
won't go well for you.
Definitely not. But we want to try to make things a little funny when we can, and we can do it tastefully. And it's been challenging to kind of figure out where that line is. And so this was definitely way over where I thought the line was for my videos. And so I'm very curious to see how this. I think for your
Listen,
man,
audience,
it'll be received well.
If you can thread the needle in making murder videos funny, you are a hero of life.
Yeah.
Well, to be
Best
That's
of
a
luck.
really dangerous world to step into.
okay, I didn't mean we were gonna make like the entire video a fucking comedy show, but just like interject little jokes when we can was the idea.
Yeah.
Our video on Monday.
And then he
is gonna
died.
be like that. And the dog did too. No.
I don't know if that will go well for you. I have two questions.
What's
One,
that?
do you know what that store is today? Like, is the store still in operation?
No, I almost exited the interstate yesterday and drove
How
through
did
real
you
quick.
not? You
'Cause
knew this was happening.
It was an 8.5-hour drive from Salt Lake City. Okay.
Yeah, but you weren't even
I was
slightly
delirious.
curious.
It was dark.
Okay, well, I'm judging you for that.
Well, you live here. You could go to it.
I didn't know about it. I had no idea. My second question, I forgot.
Nice.
So we can get back to that later.
Your second question is, what was my second question?
Yeah, that I would love to know. It was a good one.
Yeah, I'm sure. They always are. Well, yeah, thank you, Kyle. That was awesome. I'm curious to know, so how many trail mysteries have you done on your channel at this point? Do you know?
I have no idea. I mean,
Ballpark?
Levi doesn't know either. Man, I mean, probably like 40, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe 50, maybe
Yeah.
more. I don't know.
Is there a common thread in terms of the ways that people fuck up?
Yes.
What is that?
The common thread, I answered that a little premature there, but the common thread in the stories is that people fuck up. That is honestly the biggest
Yeah.
thing. And I was actually, Levi and I were talking about this last night, because I get asked a lot if since I've started making these videos, it's kind of made me like a little spooked when I'm hiking. If it's like made me, like a little more hesitant to go out there and stuff. If it's like made it less enjoyable, frankly. And the answer is no, because in most of the stories that we cover, they're very preventable. Like, there's an obvious mistake that was made. Not always. There are very rare exceptions, the Mike Turner one being one of them that we might talk about in a little bit. But most of the time, there's like a very obvious mistake. And the fact that like that's usually what leads to these disasters brings me some comfort, because I know that as long as I'm, being careful and making good decisions, then I'm probably not going to end up in one of my own videos. But it's like,
It takes the. This mic's
yeah,
a
the
little
next
fucked.
video, he's like, "Hey guys, I know I'm not Kyle, but I gotta
Gotta
break
tell
some
you what
news."
happened to Kyle. Okay, here's my question.
He's wearing Jabba's beard.
Where normally, like, I'll go on Facebook and I see an article that's like, so and so goes missing, and I'm like, oh, that's terrible. Do you see that and you're like, fuck yeah, new content?
Oh my god, no, I don't.
Just wondering.
I think I'm gonna say yes to that. Like,
I don't know.
no.
How did he die?
Tell
So-
me he's still missing.
So, first of all, we try not to cover stories that are like too recent. And so, one thing that happens a lot is, and I'm not accusing anyone in this room who likes my videos of doing this, but there's a less than 0% chance there's someone in this room that's done this. But anytime someone goes missing, anytime there's any sort of story related to like an outdoor hiking disaster, my DMs on Instagram just get flooded with people sending me the story. And I want to tell them, like, I'm not going to cover this. It's fresh. Like, I'm not going to cover a story that like just happened or is still developing too. And also, to not a direct answer to that question, but if it makes any of you feel better, we're starting to run out of stories of like hikers that have gone missing,
Well,
frankly.
that's what led me to that thought
which
process.
I'm honestly kind of happy about.
What are you gonna
because-
do? Like, get a desk
Well,
job?
we're starting to branch out.
To what?
Get a what? What'd you say?
Desk job.
Get a desk job. No, I'm not going back to the fucking cubicle, dude. No
More
way.
people just must go missing.
No way, dude. Absolutely not. I appreciate that, guys. No, we're starting to branch out into more outdoor stories, so not just hiking specific. We'll still cover the hiking stories when they come up, but like at this point, I mean, our video on Monday is going to be about the Gabby Petito story. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
So it's like it's still outdoor adjacent. They were like doing the van life thing, going to national parks, dispersed camping and stuff. But it's not like through hiking. It's not backpacking specific. We've made a couple videos about various stories from Mount Everest. Obviously, that's different than getting really stoned and then hiking on the AT. And so, we're really trying to branch out.
So Gabby Petito was like 3-4 years ago.
2021.
So that's considered old now. Enough time
Old
has
enough.
passed.
Yeah.
What's the?
I would say so.
Is it 3 years? What's the?
I mean, there's no specific cutoff, but nobody's really talking about that story anymore. And I felt like, as someone who, again, just like everyone in this room probably like watched that like media storm, I felt like it was time to kind of reflect. It's far enough away that like it's not like fresh on anyone's minds anymore, but it's still recent enough that we all remember it. And so I felt like it was a pretty good time for that one. So we'll see.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
For your April Fool's video, can you do OJ?
Wait, can you make one about us?
About you guys?
Yeah, me and Zach went missing on a hike on April Fool's Day.
An April
We'll
Fool's
just have to let.
Orange cloud of smoke that.
Oh yeah, but you guys didn't hear that.
If you send me a script, I'll do it, Chance.
I'll also have to let my parents know in advance so that they don't worry.
Your parents don't watch my videos. They're not going to find
You're
out.
right. I think my mom has a Google alert set for my name though. So.
Oh, really? You can do that?
Yeah, because sometimes she'll message me and she'll be like, "I saw this on Google," and I'm like,
Just
"I
anything on
didn't."
the internet that has your name?
Yeah.
I do not want to do that, dude.
Yeah, no.
I do not want to see some of the shit that people are writing about me.
Oh, we could do it for each other.
I search on Reddit sometimes. It's
I'll
not good.
see what people say about you.
I do not have a good reputation on our Appalachian Trail. I'll tell you that right now.
No. What's the meanest things people have said about you?
My question exactly.
What's that?
What are the meanest things people
Okay,
have
I
said
got
about
one.
you?
I almost don't want to say this because I don't want to give this person I don't. Okay, so I don't remember word for word what they said, but someone mentioned me in the comments or in the forum, and everyone, we're like way deep in Reddit now. A reply to a comment, that's a reply to a comment. Like we're way down there. And someone said, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something along the lines of how much they hate me and how I was like one of their top 5 most hated people. And the other 4 were sexual predators. And I saw that, and I was like, bro, what? I was like, and you don't have to like my videos, that's fine. It's not for everyone. But that's a little extreme.
It is. I posted on Reddit one time in my life.
Did you write that?
No, that wasn't it. That would have been really clever, though. No, I posted on Reddit once because I was trying to learn how Reddit works. I posted a photo of me hiking, and someone commented, "The trek is leaking." And I never posted on Reddit again.
Reddit can be kind of brutal.
Yeah.
Every now and again I'll search, but if my mom's listening to this, hi, Mom, don't search my name on Reddit, please. I already tell her not to read the comments. That's even worse on Reddit, trust me.
So I've learned a lot of things about the YouTube algorithm from you. You're obviously very good at that. You're good at.
I've been trying to make him get their thumbnails better, dude.
Yeah.
You guys' thumbnails are
You're
terrible.
not trying to make
You
us.
gotta make them better. You gotta get some red
we are
arrows
trying.
and some shit like that.
We're not
Here's
trying that
I
hard.
remembered
We're
my
not
second
trying
question.
that hard.
I remembered my second question is when I was going through your YouTube yesterday, I noticed that a lot of your photos are the same, and you'll put the same photo with different ones depending on the theme. But in all of them, it looks like you've cried for the past 7 days.
Yeah, I
your
get this
eyes
comment
are
all the time.
so red. Are you putting on makeup? Are you crying in advance? Have you gotten really high? Why are your eyes so red? It's like a
5
giant
bong
circle.
rips mandatory before thumbnail photos, folks.
What is it?
No, it's Photoshop. I don't know.
You Photoshop the red around your
I
eyes?
literally make a new layer. I paint my eyes red, and then I decrease
Shut
the
up.
opacity until it looks good. And it fucking works. So I don't want
I
to.
know,
I don't
it-
want to
it
hear
does.
it. I don't want to hear it, dude.
We're
It
just
works.
trying to get some tips.
Half of you people have clicked on that shit, so I don't want to fucking hear it.
Okay, so Zach, we need to download Facetune. And we need to do that.
For sure. Yeah.
I'll look like I'm crying, and you'll look like you did something really
Turn
mean.
me into a full goblin. I don't care.
Yeah.
Anything for the clicks. Speaking of which, another thing that I've learned from you is like the first, 10 seconds of the video needs to be exceptionally catchy. Like you need to keep.
Yeah,
them
you
got
gotta
to
hook them.
Yeah. So right now, I'd like for the three of us to give the first 10 seconds of the video that we're gonna put out on YouTube for this episode.
Okay.
So we'll start with Kyle.
Oh God, you should have given me this right ahead of time.
Yeah.
Oh jeez. Wait, just an introduction.
Just whatever you want to say. Something that
Yeah,
is
just say something impressive.
like people are not gonna click off of whatever you're gonna say right now.
Oh God, yeah they are. I don't know. Why don't you start? This is
All
your
right.
fucking question.
And then a hamster climbed out of his mouth.
Okay, so that's the kind of thing we're doing. And then he shot his dog in the head. Oh God. I'm
We
sorry.
already did that one.
It's fresh on the mind.
Maybe we're better picking something. That
Wait, what's
happened.
yours? No, you can't get out of this.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna also say that he
Did-
shot his dog.
Oh, okay, that makes me feel a little better.
That's just the most shocking part of all of it.
And then he shot his dog again.
No, Zach, no.
Found another dog and shot.
No.
Thank you guys for watching us on YouTube.
This might be the end
A
of my
lot of
channel,
directions
dude.
to go right now.
Yeah, we can make the thumbnail. Kyle hates hiking gets canceled,
Yeah.
and it'll be this episode.
There you go.
It won't be clickbait either because it's gonna be true.
Yeah.
So that is
and,
a perfect
and we'll
segue.
Photoshop his eyes so that they're red.
Yeah. That's a good segue because we put some calls out on Instagram, and one of them is from Mick32. Do you really hate hiking?
If I had $1 for every time I've been asked this question, I'm pretty sure I know who this guy is. Actually, I'm pretty sure I know. Like he's been a long time follower. No, I don't hate it, but sometimes I do. I mean, you almost shit your pants sometimes, so that kind of
Almost. Show off.
I've been real close, but I haven't crossed that line yet.
That
So you're
was
not a
one
real
of the
hiker.
other questions we got was if you had any bad poop stories.
You guys didn't ask me that last time. I feel like that's kind of your thing, isn't it?
Yeah, we are the poop podcast.
Unfortunately.
Poop stewards?
I came real close on my AT through hike. I got caught wiping, but I didn't actually shit my pants. But it was like an emergency situation, so like obviously I didn't choose a very good spot because some guy walked by. But it was like I was actually right next to McAfee Knob, like very close to McAfee Knob. And for those of you that don't know, that's like a very famous spot on the Appalachian Trail
Are
in
you
Virginia.
leaning over the edge of the rock? Just,
No, dude,
Here you go, Kataba.
that could be the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Someone could Photoshop that, dude. That'd be pretty
Pancakes
good.
from space, baby.
We should make that the thumbnail for this. Photoshop him. Can you send us a picture with your pants down, like from the side, so we can't see anything bad?
I'll send you some shit.
But we'll get some side butt and some thigh, and then we'll Photoshop the poo coming out.
I'm gonna make my dick look way bigger
No,
in that
you-
picture than it actually is.
We're not gonna put that part in.
Oh, damn.
You'll be tastefully to the side.
My mom's gonna watch this, dude. It's her birthday today, actually.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Shout
birthday,
out.
Cosmo.
She's gonna see this like a month later, but
Yeah,
I love that it's like, speaking of my dick.
yeah.
It's my
Anyways,
mom's
can we go back to
birthday.
talking about my dick?
Quick check-in for the people who came here for Kyle Hates Hiking.
What's
Are
the
you
big
still
deal?
here?
She's seen it. Like,
All right. I know the Backpacker Radio people are still here because this is what a normal episode's like.
dude,
but-
the people that came here to get this like serious trail mystery thing, and I'm like up here talking about my dick and my
Make
mom.
my dick
dude.
bigger when I'm shitting, yo.
I'm so sorry. I
We
hope
should
you
have
guys are having
tracked
fun,
your
dude.
subscriber count before we started, and then after we
Yeah.
ended.
I don't know. I'm having fun.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
How long?
See, this is. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you better be.
I mean. A long time. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate anyone who's watched my bullshit, honestly.
I love the metaphor that you use to get people to subscribe. The cost of admission is free.
Yeah, it works.
Give me the spiel. I fucked it up.
All right, so those of you that have seen my videos are gonna know this, but I always do this thing where, I'll do the introduction to the story, and then I'll do so now we're gonna head to Silver Plume, Colorado, and I'm gonna take you on a virtual trip there. This trip is free, but you have to hit that subscribe button to cover your admission, especially if you're a repeat viewer. That's what we do.
How should Backpacker Radio handle that exact pitch?
Oh man.
I think we just take the same sentence, and then we,
Yeah, but we're not taking anyone to Silver Plume. We're taking people to
No.
Browntown.
before we take you into this interview, Before we introduce our guest,
Can't be like, before you hear an amazing poop story, click the red subscribe button.
yeah,
I guess we can. Do that.
Press subscribe and download on your podcast. Well, we could test it. Okay, anyone sitting here before we ask? Sorry about this mic. Anyone sitting here before we ask more questions? The cost of admission wasn't free, but if you could press subscribe, that'd be really nice. Did I do it
Your
good?
$29.53 was not enough. Click the button.
You gotta be shameless about it.
Yeah.
You gotta be shameless about it. Like, you're always gonna feel like an asshole asking people to subscribe to your stupid channel.
Yeah.
But you gotta just own it. Like,
Okay.
and they're also used to seeing it too, because everyone does
Yeah.
it. So
Another piece of props I have to give you is your segue into the ad reads. You definitely
yeah.
put effort into that.
I'm glad you were paying attention to the important stuff in my
Hey,
videos.
I'm a
Zach.
businessman, and I've noticed, like, and then he was really sweating his way up the mountain. Speaking of sweating,
Is this a segue into an element read right now?
I mean, Element's today's sponsor, so.
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
guys, it's in my water bottle, and I've got a bag of it. I'm gonna throw at you soon. But if you don't want a
shit.
hangover tomorrow and you're drinking, put some in a cup of water.
Yeah,
That's good.
we have a lot of Element for you guys. I'm just trying to give you props right now, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like, I try to make them like catchy enough that people don't click away immediately, but also like somewhat tasteful, you know? Because you can't be like, yeah, and then he shot the dog. And speaking of that, this video is sponsored by Element. Like, you
This
you obviously
episode's
can't
sponsored
do
by
that.
Chewy.
Like,
Sorry.
like, you know, you got to be. I try to be tasteful with it, unlike what I am doing in this interview. So
You made the wrong choice. on this
Yeah.
podcast.
yeah, I'm
How
having
many
fun,
times
though.
so far have you regretted this?
Maybe a couple, but I'm having fun.
Not zero.
I'm having way more fun than I have in a long time, but I'm a
Good.
little scared. So nobody tell, please.
I wanted you to know the mystery,
Yeah.
and I love this story. So not to spoil it, so it's not a sad one, but tell me about Pam Bales
This one's crazy.
and John.
So when I made this video, I actually was kicking myself afterwards because I was like, I should have saved that one for Backpacker Radio because like the ending is so good. Has anyone heard this story? But the story of Pam Bales in the White Mountains before? It's pretty.
Got one. You have to leave. Two. If you spoil it, we are suing. Go.
So I'll give the spark notes. I don't have 10 pages of notes like I did
3.
for the last one, but in the White Mountains in New Hampshire, my favorite place in the world, this lady was doing like a shoulder season hike. Her name was Pam Bales, but there was like an early season snowstorm, and so the conditions were pretty bad. I want to say it was in like October. Levi, you probably don't remember. I want to say it was in October. And she thought she was going to be the only one up there that day. She was extremely experienced, very competent hiker, well prepared for difficult conditions like this. Because the conditions were the kind of thing where, like, you know, not to brag, but I think people like us could do it. Those of you that are experienced hikers in the crowd, you could do it. But if you're not an experienced hiker, you could quickly run into trouble, right? It could be pretty dangerous. And she thought she'd be alone that day, but she starts to see these footprints as she's going up Mount Washington. And she noticed, and this is how, like, keen and aware this lady is. She noticed that the footprints weren't your typical, like, hiking shoe footprint. They were like just a regular sneaker. And she instantly knew that something was going to be wrong because if you're up there in Vans and it's freezing cold and there's snow, like, that's not a good situation. That's not the proper footwear. You got to keep your feet, dry and warm and everything. Most of us in here know that. And so she knew something was wrong. And she actually saw the footprints veer off the trail at one point. And again, the weather's getting worse and worse. She had actually made the decision to turn around by this point. Like, she decided to bail on the summit. Very wise decision. And she notices the footprints veer off the trail, and they're just, bushwhacking essentially. And she's like, man, something's wrong. Another thing I meant to mention, actually, is she was on a search and rescue team.
Oh,
She wasn't working at this moment, but she was volunteering for Pemigewasset Valley Search and Rescue, which is a very awesome group there in the White Mountains.
You said that word really good. That's a hard
Pemigewasset,
word.
yeah.
Yeah.
It took me about 3 years before I was able to nail that
Oh,
one.
that's
but
a good word. You said it well.
I probably fucked it up like 10 times in the script when
You
I
did
was
it great
filming
this
the video,
time.
but I nailed it, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Congrats. Congrats.
I get shit on for pronunciation all the time, so it's
Yeah.
nice to hear someone actually say that I pronounced it well. So
As someone who
Thank you,
pronounces nothing well, it's
you
admirable.
should see my comments.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's altitude, not altitude.
Jesus.
That one haunts
Tomato,
me.
potato.
Appalachian, that's the most common one
Us
by far.
Yankees will always fuck that up.
It's pronounced Appalachian. I'm gonna throw an apple at you.
Someone said correct.
See, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like,
Oh, it's the long time. It's the long time listener. She's gonna.
I can
unsubscribe.
agree with that. It depends on where you are, but the thing is, like,
But the thing is, you're wrong.
I'm telling a story about the Appalachian Trail in New Hampshire, and people are like, it's Appalachian. I'm like, no, we're in New Hampshire.
I'm the one on the video.
Yeah. So, so Pam, she's a search and rescue volunteer, and so she has like the experience and the credentials to be rescuing people. And she sees these footprints veer off the trail. There's another one, veer.
No, it's
That's what I'm
definitely
saying.
veer.
This is stuff you don't see on YouTube. We just cut that shit out, and I look like I'm perfect, but.
That's gonna be our intro 10 seconds right
Yeah.
there.
And so she follows these footprints for maybe like a quarter mile, not very far off the trail, and she sees this guy kind of hunched over, clearly in like severe stage of hypothermia. And again, he's wearing sneakers. He's not wearing proper hiking equipment. He's just got a light jacket on, in very, very bad shape. And so she immediately goes into search and rescue mode. And by the way, she could have turned around. She didn't have to follow these footprints. She could have turned around long before she found this gentleman in this very desperate situation, but she didn't. And she finds him, and so she immediately starts going to like try to help him. She's putting some extra layers on him. She had like some hot chocolate, I think, or hot water in a thermos, and she's trying to talk to him. And at first he's kind of like out of it. He starts to come to a little bit, and she asks him for his name, and for some reason, this guy just would not tell her his name. He was being very evasive. He didn't want to really like give very much information away. Eventually, she kind of like gets him on his feet, and she starts to bring him down the mountain. And she's trying to like talk to him. She's singing to him, trying to just keep him going. At one point, he just laid down and was like, "You go on without me, like go on." And she refused to like she wouldn't take no, for an answer. Like she was like, "I'm saving your life. Like, we are not doing this." And eventually she gets him down, but he was just so evasive the whole time. It was very strange to her. He thanked her, but he wouldn't tell her his name. Like, why wouldn't you tell someone your name if they literally just saved your life? And so they get down to the parking lot. For anyone that's been in the Whites, they were on the Jewel Trail, I want to say. They get down to where the Cog Railway starts. There's a big trailhead there. And John, I forgot that part of the story. Fuck, my bad, dude. She gave him a name. Because he wouldn't tell his name, she gave him the name John.
That's kind of fun.
And he kind of just went with it.
That's a nice way to approach that situation.
Yeah, it
It's
just
fine, I'll
shows like
call you
how
John
like
then.
personal she is, like she wanted to give him a name.
Oh, yeah.
I guess so.
Hey, my name's Rob, trail name John. I like that.
But, okay, so they get down to the parking lot. He thanks her, and then he drove away. And she was just kind of left there like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I just saved this guy's life. He was so evasive, so strange. And then, she's thinking about how she's going to explain this to all her search and rescue friends and stuff. And then about a week later, Pemigewasset, nailed it, search and rescue, get a letter in the mail because apparently she had a bumper sticker on her car. And so this John character noticed, that she had this organization sticker. And so anyways, they get a letter in the mail, basically, and a donation as well, basically saying, hey, I was called John on this day. I went up there here we're going back to suicide. I went up there to end my life. And I was purposely underprepared. I was going to just freeze to death. And this Pam lady came along, and she just wouldn't take no for an answer. And she just basically forced me to get off that mountain, and she made me feel like I mattered for the first time in a long time, maybe even the first time in his life. And she saved his life, both in terms of getting him off the mountain, saved his life from the elements and the weather and the cold, but also saved his life, from his own demons, you could say. And he remained anonymous in the letter. as far as I'm aware, we still don't know who he is. I don't really think we need to, honestly. But he thanked her in that letter, and he said, you know, I'm getting help now. I'm like turning my life around, and like I owe a lot of that to you, Pam. So it was like it's nice to have a story that has a happy ending on my channel for once. And so I'm glad I got to tell it here because like I said, I actually was kicking myself afterwards because I wanted to tell that story on this podcast. I was like, shit, I should have saved it. So it's pretty insane.
When did it happen?
It was a few years ago. I want to say like maybe. I wish I remembered exactly.
But like soon enough where John there
I'm sure he's still
could
alive.
possibly listen to Backpacker Radio.
You could say that, maybe.
John, I'm glad.
Shout out John,
I'm glad
yeah.
you stuck around.
Can we get a round of applause for John?
Yeah,
John.
everyone's gonna clap for
And
John.
Pam?
John and Pam, if you ever hear this, hi.
I've always wanted to say, can we get a round of applause for something and then have applause happen?
Yeah.
So that was
Do you
pretty
want to
cool.
do it again?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot now.
Just anything. Pick anything.
Can we get a round of applause for Levi?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was even louder than John's, dude.
Yeah, do it again. Do it for Garrett.
Can we get a round of applause for Garrett?
That's
the
my
best
fiance.
goalie in Denver.
Rachel and Elise.
Yeah, do it for Rachel.
Rachel and
No,
Elise.
don't take it from him. Let him do it. He wants to do it.
Me?
He wants to do it.
No, I'm good now.
I
I
was
got
just
my
telling
fix.
him what to say.
Do it for the Skylark.
For the Skylark? Hell yeah, dude. This is crazy. I'm on a stage. It might only be like 4 feet high, but I'm still on a stage right now.
Do you want
That's
another,
pretty
or do you
insane.
feel good? No.
For the what?
Let's hear it for dead dogs.
Now we're just shitting on. This is exactly what I was trying to say.
I was
didn't
talking
want
about that
to.
dead dog. I was talking about another dead dog.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
Well,
that
they
other
don't live
one.
very long, so there's a lot
Stop
of them out there.
it. I'm currently in the time frame of my first dog, so I've never had to face that day yet.
How old is it?
Stop. She's young and young. That's all we need to say.
We'll leave it at that.
All right, more questions from Instagram. Uncle Andy asks when you're hiking the CDT.
Oh, it's probably going to happen. Whether or not I actually finish it is a totally different story, but an attempt is certainly going to happen over the next few years. My girlfriend and I are thinking about doing it together, and she's not like super public facing. So we
Is
haven't
she a real
made
person that exists? Because you
Yeah,
told me she was
dude.
going to be here tonight.
Oh yeah, and then
awesome.
she had work,
She's way better than.
quote unquote.
Yeah.
Than your
she
girlfriend,
goes to the
dude.
school across town.
Why is she my background on my phone if she doesn't exist?
Well, I
dude?
know you're very familiar
Showing
with
your
AI.
phone background to prove she's
Hell yeah.
real is
I'm showing
the
off my girlfriend
absolute
right now.
biggest way to show me
Can we get a
she's
round
not.
of applause for Leela, dude? Hell yeah.
That screamed fake girlfriend.
No, she's real, dude. I'll call her. I'm not gonna call her right now, but
That's all. Yeah, call her.
Actually, I'm not gonna do it.
Call
It's not
her.
gonna happen.
Call her.
I'm gonna stand
Call
here
her.
and just take this.
Call
I'm
her.
not gonna call
All
her.
right, I'll call her.
You're not gonna call
Oh, come
her.
on.
Hello, I am real.
She's real.
Please enter $1.
She's totally real. She does go to another school, but that's not relevant. Like
Another school. What are you, 18?
what?
She goes to another school?
That was
It
the
was a.
joke that I
You never
made.
heard that? I have a girlfriend, but she
Oh,
goes
I
to
thought you
another
were
school.
actually saying that. I was like,
No.
that you're just solidifying it for me there. Okay, cool.
How did we start talking about my girl? Oh, the CDT. That's why.
We were talking about your dick, and then you mentioned your mom, and then you brought up your girlfriend.
At some point, I'll do the CDT for sure, dude. I'll try, anyways.
At Austin.mc, this is our guy, Austin McDaniel. Awesome guy. He asks, how long do you spend filming versus editing versus writing and planning a video?
I don't edit anymore. That's why I have Levi. But how long? Honestly, it usually takes about a week to come together. It's a very quick turnaround. Ideally, if I was more professional and maybe this is something we're working towards, we would have a little bit more of a buffer between when the video goes live and when it's actually in production. But it's kind of a scramble sometimes to get it together. But I usually spend about 2 to 3 days writing a script. The filming only takes like an hour probably, and then half of that is me fucking up the lines and being pissed. and getting up to go piss as well. I do that sometimes, and I don't stop recording because I don't want to have to resync the files. Anyways, but it takes about an hour to film it, and then I don't know, maybe like 3 days probably for Levi to put it together, and then that's pretty much the process. It's about a week turnaround.
Levi, I'm gonna let you noodle on this for a minute, but over there, think about any embarrassing Kyle stories you have that won't get you fired.
Cutting room floor.
Would love one of them before this is over.
I was getting pretty pissed, and the one we just uploaded, I wasn't feeling well. I was like, not like.
I didn't
totally-
ask you. I asked Levi.
I'm just trying to help him, dude. All right.
Kyle, you mentioned piss
take
breaks. We're about to take one. Everyone,
Thank
you
fuck,
got
dude. I
10
would
minutes to
so
go.
bad.
Hit up the bar. Be sure to tip everyone
Yeah.
very well, and we'll reconvene here in 10 minutes.
And if you're hungry, go to Borderless Food Truck.
Yes. You have 10 minutes. We'll be back
Yeah.
at 6:33.
Yes. Okay. Ready, set, break.
Thank you, guys.
I'm not a sports person. Who got their Spotify Wrapped that said that they were like a top sports listener, and then you realized it was Backpacker Radio? Yeah, I've had some people send me that, and they're like, "I'm not even good at sports," and I was like, "Me neither." I did cross country until we realized I had asthma. I came in last for every race, and my parents never came to any of the meets because I wasn't any good. And then we realized I had asthma, and they finally let me quit.
Excuses.
And then I became a cheerleader. So I also did basketball, and on my best quarter or season in basketball, I got 2 points. Thank you. Yeah, so not very sports, but
You know someone's a basketball player when they said, "I did basketball."
I did. I did it for a bit until I was allowed to quit. And all I had to do was prove that I had no promise.
Yeah.
So,
We do that every day.
yeah. Here I am now. Look at me now. So,
Okay, so we're gonna do some audience Q&A. Before we do, I want to talk about, so this summer, you went back to clean up some PCT miles.
I tried.
How'd that go?
Not good.
Give us the backstory.
Okay.
So obviously you hiked the PCT.
So yeah, not
the backstory.
not in the entire PCT. So in 2022, I went and tried to thru hike the PCT. I did like 85% of it, I want to say, but there were some fires. Those of you that are familiar with the PCT have heard this 1,000 times. Anyone you talk to that's ever tried to hike on the PCT, pretty much, there's some sort of fire story. Anyways, fires in a couple different sections, trail closed, couldn't finish it. So I was like, all right, I'll just go back next year. So 2023 comes around. It's now next year. I go back, and I knock out. I had about just under 500 miles left at that point, and I did about half of it, just under half of it, and then some of the same sections of trail that were closed the previous year caught on fire again, and so I couldn't finish them, and I went back home with my tail between my legs for the second year in a row. But I was like, surely next year is my year, 100%, 2024. And so I went back in July. I even went back earlier this time. In 2023, when I went back, I went in August. And I'm sure a lot of you know, like, the later in the season, the drier it is, the more likely fires are. I clearly didn't know that in 2023 because I went back in August. And so everyone was commenting, like, why'd you go back in August? You're an idiot. And I was like, you're kind of right. I'm sorry. I don't know. Like, they were right. Like, they were right. And so this year I went back in July. And the same thing happened again. I did about 60 miles, and then the same section of trail caught on fire and was closed again.
which
And so-
section is this?
The only thing I have left is from Stevens Pass north to the border in Washington. It's about 170 miles. So I've done everything up until that point.
So you haven't seen the northern terminus yet?
No.
Oh.
I heard it's sick, though.
It's really nice.
At this point, I'm like, I could go back next year again, but like we talked about earlier, I'd like
But
to.
your girlfriend won't let you.
Yeah.
Do you want to see his screensaver? It's her.
Who brought her into this?
Why does she have 12 fingers?
What's her
anyways?
name again?
Leela.
No, I meant you saying that to yourself.
Oh, she's awesome. But
And real.
at this point, I'm thinking about just. I haven't decided this for sure, but maybe just go try to do the CDT, finish that, and then finally go back, finish that last 170 of the PCT as like the end to the Triple Crown. So
Hell yeah.
we'll see, because that seems better than finishing at the Mexican border on the CDT, which I haven't done, so I don't know for sure. Maybe it's amazing, but it doesn't seem like it from the videos I've seen. So I'm seeing a lot of shaking heads. So
you would do the CDT southbound.
that's what I think, but I can be convinced out of that from two people that haven't done the CDT.
You're
Yeah,
talking
do
to
the
the
other
wrong
way.
girl.
Three people that haven't done the CDT talking about
I
the
would
CDT.
do it southbound
That's great.
also. I would do it southbound also. But
All right.
also, my girlfriend goes to the other school, so what do I know?
He just had a little spill.
Okay,
Let's just point out everything I'm doing wrong up here,
Okay.
Johns. What else?
Yeah.
Tell me, please.
That's how we treat our guests here at Backpacker Radio.
We roll out the red
Flies
carpet.
open, asshole.
Yes.
Audience Q&A. I promised that we're going to do it, and we had someone, and he's right there. All right.
Oh, yeah. So if you guys have questions that you want to ask, if you want to form a nice line behind this gentleman, when he's done, then you can step up to the mic and so on and so forth. We can take a couple. So get online. That way there's no lag and that you get a turn. Okay, bye.
Yes, sir.
Hello, thank you for making time for Q&A.
What's your name?
My name is Isaacs. Isaacs is my trail name, and I just wanted to say first.
Did you come straight off the trail right now? You
I know, really.
Are you saying
the
you look...
buff? You
No,
got the sun
I drove
hoodie?
from Arizona.
Are we just going
in
to
my
shit on
van.
this guy? Are we
Zach,
just going
what
to
are you
shit on the
saying
people
about
asking
him?
questions?
You saying he doesn't look good?
I'm saying he smells awesome. I
No,
want
no,
to hug him.
I appreciate it.
How much do those patches on your shorts weigh?
Probably too much. Listen, quickly, I don't want to shake up because I got a huge line behind me.
Yeah.
Kyle, quickly, first, thank you very much. I met you in Damascus earlier
right
this
on.
year at AT Days.
Yeah.
I asked you a couple Q&As or questions about the less known Long Trail in Vermont.
Yeah. I see the
And-
patch there. Yeah.
I did it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Thank you. It was a kick-ass trail. It took everything out of me as a West Coast hiker. It was nothing I expected before. I want
Nice.
to thank you for through your podcast just inspiring me to hike that, to try that trail out. The Greens are not given enough credit. The oldest trail in the United States. You guys are looking for a challenge? Go to Vermont.
Thank
It
you.
is there.
Thank you.
yeah.
What's your question?
My question is this. Kyle, you talked a lot about 411s and missing hikers.
Yeah.
We all read about prepping for hikes. Should one of the things we do in prepping is possibly making out our own missing poster?
Just to make sure they get the right angle.
Yeah.
They
I mean, if you're that
Photoshop the
particular
red.
about your photos, then maybe.
You got to get
you
the
know?
red around the eyes right for when they post it.
That's funny as shit, dude. I mean, yeah, go for it. If you
Yeah.
make one, send it to me. I can review it. I would recommend photoshopping your eyes to be very red in it too.
Will do. Okay. Thank you very much, Kyle.
Yeah, dude, I
it.
appreciate you saying that about the Long Trail because
It's not talked about enough. It is truly a grueling trail, and I recommend it to everyone out west who all we do
so
is
are
switch.
you from Colorado, I'm assuming?
No. I'm from Arizona.
So you're
and the West
but
Coast.
Western, yeah.
Yeah, switchbacks and skirting mountains. We don't know anything about going straight up and straight down.
Yeah. I appreciate that because I say this on my podcast all the time because I'm from Vermont originally, from New England, and I always talk about how people that live out west, which most of you do, so maybe I won't be in good company here, but I always talk about how people out west kind of write off the Northeast specifically. They think like, you know, the mountains are smaller, so it's not as cool, or the views aren't as good, or it must be easier is probably the biggest one, as you kind of alluded to there, but it's not true, and so someone just completely validated that, and it feels very good. So thank you, man. I appreciate that.
A quick aside, I think is a good idea, just to give like some actionable items in reference to that question. You know when you see those photos on Instagram and it's someone laid next to like all their gear spread out really aesthetically? I've made them. That's a really good idea to do prior to starting a trail, even if it's not just for like the Insta hype, because then should something happen, they've got a photo of you next to every piece of gear you've brought.
They know exactly what to look for.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually a very smart thing to do.
And the
So
more
if-
likes you get on the photo, the safer it is,
the
too.
more
So
likely they are to find you. But
just keep that
So
in mind.
show a little cleavage, guy or
Yeah.
girl, doesn't matter.
if you're going on a long distance hike, consider posting one of those prior to it. That way they know everything you're carrying and what to look for. Just a tip.
That's a good tip.
Hashtag cleavage.
What's up, guys?
How's it going? What's your
Just
name?
in case.
Say it again.
Just in case.
Just in case. Thank you, Justin.
PCT 2020. Ooh, pandemic hiker. And CDT
Oh, wait.
2024.
Woo!
Hell yeah.
Wait.
Another one here.
Yeah, I know you. So, some of my favorite videos from Kyle were the old ultralight jerk videos with the condom for a pillow and all that kind of fun
Damn,
stuff.
you remember that? That's so funny.
Oh, those are the best. So I'm curious, what are some of your favorite ultralight jerk pro tips up to date? And maybe Chance and Zach have some ultralight jerk tips that you want to share.
You'll love our Triple Crown.
I mean, one of my favorites is skip the eye sacs, just grow out your fingernails.
That would have been perfect for that video you were talking
Right?
about. I didn't
So
know what
maybe
an
you
ice
got
ass was
some new
back then, but-
updated humorous or interesting ultralight tips that you want to share?
I'll borrow one from our pal Andrew Skirka, which is you can save the weight of toilet paper just by splashing a little water around in your asshole and just digging around and cleaning it out.
Yeah. Shout out to today's social video. If you don't follow Backpacker Radio on Instagram, was
Yeah.
a clip of him talking about wiping his ass with sticks,
Yeah.
which sounds
I don't
painful.
personally do that, but
Never have.
he's the goat, so you have to do it.
There's a lot of talk about cutting the handle off your toothbrush to save weight, but why doesn't anyone ever just consider not bringing a toothbrush to save even more weight? Like, I just thought of that. I've never
Yeah.
thought of that in my life, but I'm never going to hike with a toothbrush again after this. So my teeth are already pretty yellow, so fuck it.
Why is everyone looking at me?
Because you're supposed to get one also.
I don't have any.
Okay.
I stuff my clothes into my backpack that I'm not wearing, and I use that as a pillow. But I kind of don't really want to do that anymore. I want
Yeah.
an actual pillow.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
An actual pillow or an inflatable pillow?
like a backpacking pillow.
It's not an actual pillow. Like,
No, it is. When you're out there, it is. When I did the Ozark Highlands Trail, Fireball had an actual pillow, and she let me put my head on it for a hot second, and that was really mean because in the end, once I knew what it felt like, that's all I could think about when I was going to sleep on like hard ground was how she was probably feeling in her tent with pillow. So, anti-ultralight jerk is I would like to do that.
I will say one thing I did on the PCT that I don't think I'll be doing on trails moving forward is I brought women's leggings because they weighed less. They only went up to about here. So they don't keep you as warm, but they are lighter.
Yeah. That's good.
interesting.
Hi, Kyle. I'm Amy Duncan.
Hello.
I've been following you a long time. My trail name is Sandals because I began hiking the CT in ultralight zero brand sandals
Oh, no.
Damn.
because they were the least uncomfortable shoes for my feet with ultra high arches.
Do you still have all of your toenails?
Or toes?
I do because I started hiking in sandals. I had already lost several toenails to my ultras beforehand from hiking.
Not a sponsor, so we can
14ers.
say that. Yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, I had already lost them to 14ers beforehand. So anyway, Kyle, watching your videos actually inspired me to change my life, which is one of the reasons that I insisted on being here tonight. I actually, as I kind of got chunked out at you earlier, that I'm from actually the Appalachia area. I was born in Nashville. My family is from Appalachia. I started hiking out that way. With my asthma, it made it really difficult. But I knew I had to change my life. And I'd watched a lot of hiking YouTubers. But there was something about your videos that just really drove home this desire and need. And this was several years back that I finally decided that I really needed to make a difference in my life. And I had started hiking, and I was struggling with it. And I desperately needed a change. And I happened to have a friend of 20-something years who lived out in Colorado Springs. And he gave me a place to stay. And I moved out here, and I did more hiking. And I want to thank you for that.
Oh, I appreciate that.
But my question is, what inspired you to really start your YouTube channel?
Thank you.
To start
Yeah.
talking about it?
Definitely.
question.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for, I mean, it's pretty gutsy,
you.
honestly, to get up here and say that
Really,
into the
really
microphone. So thank you very much. And I'd love to hear more of your story after the show, too. We'll be hanging around. What inspired it? I always loved hiking, and I shouldn't say that. Let me rewind.
Hate hiking.
Clip that.
Stick to the script.
Shit. No. I got into hiking when I was pretty young. I was like 16. And I got really into it on my own. It wasn't like my parents dragged me out there. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it was very formative years. You know, you're kind of coming into your identity when you're 16 like that. And I just found it, got obsessed with it. It just brought me so much joy and so much fulfillment. And even prior to that, when I was in middle school, I had a YouTube channel where me and my friends would make sketch comedy videos. And obviously nobody watched them. This is like 2008, 2009.
Is it still
I was
live?
12. No, you're not going to find them. But I was obsessed with it. Like, I was watching all the YouTubers at the time, and that was like my dream. My dream was to be in the YouTube partner program, which is absurd. But that stuck with me, even though our stupid channel ended eventually, and nobody watched those videos, obviously, thank goodness. And then eventually I got to a place in my life, you know, after my Appalachian Trail thru hike, where I saw this like path where I could merge these two things that I loved so much and was so passionate about, this passion to have a YouTube channel and this passion of hiking and thru hiking. And it kind of just came together like that. And I said at the beginning when you were, you know, flattering me about my subscriber count, like, it's such a blessing, and it really is. Even just getting to hear stories like that is like, it's just such a blessing. And so thank you for that question, and thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it.
What was do you remember any of these sketch comedy videos you posted at 12?
Oh,
like
man.
a theme of any of them?
Oh, jeez,
The
dude.
topic? I know you do. You have to. People
I-
don't forget that.
See, but when you're 12, you're using like 12-year-old brains. So like,
Yeah,
there's
it's
not really like a,
embarrassing.
you know, it's not a compelling story.
Just
you know.
answer the question.
Well, I'm trying to think. Like, there was one video where we just, maybe they weren't all sketch comedy. We thought they were. There was one video where we just stood at the top of my driveway. I lived on a hill. It's like a pretty steep driveway. And we just took a shoe and we just like pulled out the shoelace, and then we just did this and then flung the shoe to the bottom of the driveway. And it was called shoe flinging, and it was pretty fucking sick, honestly. So that was a video. Another one of my friends went down my steep driveway. I guess we did a lot of driveway videos, actually. He went down my driveway on 2 scooters, so like 1 scooter on each foot. But if anyone, I don't know if you guys you probably know this, like, if there's like a culvert at the bottom of your driveway, sometimes like a little bump forms, you know, after a few years. And so when he hit the culvert, he just ate shit, obviously. Like, he's on 2 scooters going down a hill. He sprained his wrist. Another one, we just made a music video for the song Rollin' by Limp Bizkit. That was our most viewed video, too. So that was pretty fun. And yeah, it was fun. Nobody cared, obviously. They were
Yeah.
terrible. But it was fun making them.
So
you know?
jackass is what you're describing.
Yeah.
Jackass for 12-year-olds that had a curfew, pretty much.
All right, next question.
Hi, my name is Sarah. Trail name is Mello. First thing, I had a question about your second story. If maybe that guy didn't want to give his name, the hypothermia guy, because he was actually named Keith from Silver Planet.
Oh, shit. Damn.
So, confession, I've only ever watched one of your videos.
That's okay. They're
Which-
terrible. We're not missing much.
Which a friend sent me and was like, you gotta see this. And it was the one about otter.
Yeah.
And then I was on the CDT this year, came up to this trail magic, and people were like, oh, you know that pit toilet over there? That's where Otter died. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is a real thing. And in your video, I was confused. I thought like some other hiker had written on the door, dead CDT hiker in there. And I was like, who would do that?
No, he wrote it.
They clarified that for me, that he wrote it himself. But I'm curious, like, is that your most popular video? And if not, what is, and why do you think it's the most popular?
Yeah, that's the most viewed one. It's at almost like 5 million views now, something crazy like that. I think it's because it probably is like the craziest story I've ever covered. It's a super sad story, and like the thing that gets me about that one the most is just how experienced he was. Like he had through hiked so much. He'd done the CDT before. He'd done way more miles than I have and probably ever will. And he's still, you know, again, I'm not trying to criticize him, obviously, but he's still made some mistakes, and it cost him his life. So, yeah, that's a crazy story for sure.
Totally.
Sad one. That's the story that inspired me to start carrying a Garmin InReach. Honestly, I never carried one before I made that video.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent sweater before we get started. That.
I was hoping someone would recognize it.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
My name is Jesse, no trail name as of yet, hopefully on the CDT next year. I'm curious, what is your most overrated ultralight luxury? So be it umbrella, be it pillow, obviously not, but it's like everyone talks about the one ultralight item they wish they had brought, be it, you know, Kendall, something like that. What do you think is completely worthless and a waste of weight?
A pump for a sleeping pad. And to be fair, I've never used one, like full disclosure. But I don't understand. It's not that hard to just blow up the fucking pad. Like, I don't know. Like I'll even say like I shit on camp chairs a lot, but at least I understand. Like, I still don't think you should bring one ever. But like, I understand that like they're comfortable to sit in. Not really, but they could be in theory. But with a pump, it's like it's not that hard to just blow up the pad. So I don't get that one at all.
Sweetness, thank you.
Thank you. Consider the trail name Sweater, because that's a good one. Everyone find that guy. It won't be hard.
Hey there. My name's Mickey. From Arizona, moved to Colorado a couple of months ago. Totally lost here. So I thought maybe I'd meet some people, but we're going to be so drunk we aren't going to meet anyone.
It's the best way to meet people.
That's the best way.
So, Kyle, I was listening to you the other night, and you mentioned some trails that you really would like to do, and you mentioned the Arizona Trail.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if you have plans, if you're thinking about doing it, and I want to encourage you because Arizona might be the only place where you can filter water out of a puddle while a cow's pissing in it at the same time.
That definitely encourages me.
So it's a unique experience, and there's a lot of Triple Crowners who come to Arizona and say, "Holy shit, this thing's got something." I completed it last year, and it's sick. It's so cool. So
Yeah.
So come.
I would love
Arizona,
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely on my list. No like active plans at the moment, but the Arizona Trail is a weird one because it's like kind of between that length of like a short through hike and a long through hike, you know? So it's about 800 miles, so you know, it's shorter than the CDT or the PCT or the AT obviously, but it's still longer than the long trail, which is kind of ironic given the trail is called the long trail. But it's in that weird spot, and I would love to hike it. I've never heard a bad thing about the Arizona Trail. Even the water situation that you mentioned there, people always make jokes about it. And so
It is that bad.
I'm sure it's bad, but clearly it's manageable. And so, yeah, it's on the list for sure. And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just going to kick the mic stand. Hi, I'm Minstrel, PCT 23.
Woo! Woo!
I'm up here because I know you guys have all hiked through the desert, and I mean, we got all the Arizonans in the house. I'm not talking about Arizona. I live in the shadow of the AZT in Tucson. But you've all hiked through the desert, and I know that people romanticize the mountains and the forest, but they fear the desert. I want you to help assuage the fears of the desert. Help calm people down. Help make the desert a little more accessible.
You're getting laughed off the mic, which is
Yeah.
kind of funny.
I'll take it.
You asked a group where 67% of us are gingers to assuage the fear of the desert.
How do I feel about the desert?
You're barking up the wrong tree.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I'm Latino as hell.
I can give you something. So the only desert experience I have is on my PCT through hike attempt in 2022. And so there's probably a lot of people in this room that have more desert experience than I do. But I will say, the first thing that popped into my head when you were asking that question by far was the sunsets and the sunrises in the desert, unmatched. Like, you can't beat those. And so if you love a good sunset and a good sunrise, like you really love that shit, you're gonna love the desert for sure.
If you really like to sweat,
If you like carrying water for 30 miles,
if you like an uphill that feels harder than it should, and you know the climb isn't that hard, but for some reason it's just really hard to get up it, go to the desert. If you want to have a more challenging experience putting in your tent stakes, go to the desert.
you like wind.
If you don't like water that tastes like water, go to the desert. There's just so many things that you can do in the desert. Those are a few.
A lot of rattlesnakes.
Nothing from Zach. Good.
Oh, now I was just going to point to Katie. I mean, I get skin cancers every other week, so yeah. I like a little tree cover myself. The desert doesn't have that. But yeah, desert's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yay, desert.
Hi, I'm Katie.
Past guest.
Thank you.
Recent guest. If anyone saw the cow video.
Yeah, if you're looking to drink cow pee, I feel like the CDT will also work out really well for you. New Mexico's great for that. My question for you, you've built this career over years based on hiking and based on this hobby of yours, which is really fantastic and really impressive. How do you manage separating that from the hobby? How are you still able to engage in the hobby without turning that into a job all the time?
Good question.
Yeah.
That's a really good question. I don't think anyone's ever asked me that before, honestly, so props. Honestly, it's easier now that I make these mystery videos because I don't film my hikes anymore. And so, like, when I'm hiking now, I'm not worried about getting shots and, how the video is going to be perceived. But I will say, even when I was doing that still, which was for a couple of years, when my channel was a little bit younger, I never got to the point where it felt like a job, honestly. I always had a lot of fun with it. On my PCT through hike, I hired someone to edit my videos for me. I basically didn't make a single cent that entire year, I'm not gonna lie, because of that. But it was important to me that I be able to focus on the hike and not have to be worrying about, getting into my tent and then editing for an hour or two, or getting into town and then instead of being able to relax and kind of decompress before I go back on trail, having to worry about editing. And so it never really felt like a job. And now it's so separate because of the change in my content style that it certainly doesn't feel like that. I don't even really get recognized very much on trail anymore, which used to happen a lot more a couple years ago. And so, yeah. Nobody says anything unlike that guy, but I don't know.
It was the Reddit commenter, by the way.
Yeah. They're gonna have a field day with all that shitting on the guy who killed himself stuff earlier, but no. But no, that's a good question. I've never been asked that before, but it never really felt like a job. Now it does sometimes, but I'm not on trail anymore, so it's a little different than what you asked. So, but it's still a blessing, for sure.
One more?
Hey, to answer the question about the desert, as somebody whose first through hike was the Arizona Trail, and I'm a ginger as well, my trail name is Heat Rash, which turned into HR on the AT. But I talked to my dermatologist because I'm about to do the PCT and was worried about heat rash again. And there is a supplement that you can take. So it's called HeloCare. I am not a doctor. Please ask your own doctor. But also sun hoodies and just like knowing when to take a zero and hide in the shade. But yeah, the desert is amazing. Hike the Arizona Trail. It was fantastic.
Is that supplement the one that has the SPF?
Yes, so to double down on that, we actually interviewed a doctor
Yeah.
who recommended that, and it's like an SPF 8 or something like
Yeah,
that.
I didn't know you could eat something and have SPF just
Yeah.
like ooze
She
through your
literally
pores.
If you listen to Backpacker Radio, you'll get that insider
Yeah.
info. But yeah,
She was like, you can take the double dose because obviously I had pictures of my heat rash. She was like, oh gosh. So yeah, there are supplements you can take. Definitely recommend pants, sun shirts, but it's worth it. Yeah.
here.
Sweet.
Sun umbrellas. A tepid response.
Yeah.
All right. Let's end with this. Shout out to our title sponsor, LMNT. The Stay Salty question presented by LMNT. So we want to know your question, your hottest take in the world of backpacking. And again, use code DRINKLMNT/TheTrek for a free sample pack.
Yeah. I was supposed to think about this when I was in the green room, but I kind of got distracted by Jabba earlier. He's pretty distracting. I don't know if you guys picked that up when I was trying to tell a story and he was over there. But I made it sound like I'm mad at Jabba. That was not supposed to be a slight. That was supposed to be a joke that fell flat, by the way. Okay, hottest take. So we talked about this a little on our last episode, so maybe I shouldn't say it,
Are
but
you making this eye contact with me?
I don't know. Because I want you guys to have good content. To be honest, this is by far my hottest take. You know, I shit on camp chairs a lot, but I feel like there's a lot of people that agree with that. Definitely some people that disagree too. But my actual hottest take, especially in the world of thru hiking, is that I think trail names are kind of lame. That is not me trying to insult anyone who's ever had a trail name. I have one too.
By the way, that's a great answer because look how mad they are.
Yeah.
At you.
That's why.
You
They
have
fucking
to.
hate your guts.
You have to
You
hang
had
out
won
with
them
them.
over.
I coulda
Even after
lied.
killing a dog, you'd won them over, and now you're like, yeah, fuck your name.
That is true. You guys reacted more to that than the dead dog.
Okay. To be fair, I have a shitty trail name.
Remind
and
us your trail
and
name.
It's Narnar. And the story, it's not even that the trail name's shitty, which it is, but the story behind it is shitty. So that's the worst part. So like, if you have like a sick story behind your trail name, then I get it. And like, you're proud to tell that story because those of you that have thru hiked know this, but a lot of the time when you meet someone new on trail, especially if you're awkward like me, you just default to the, how'd you get your trail name question? And you just answer that question over and over and over. And then you start a YouTube channel and people start DMing you asking how you got your trail name. And you just keep answering it over and over and over. And when the story sucks, it kind of sucks to tell the same shitty story over and over. I could pick a different name.
We found all the Reddit commenters here, by the way.
Yeah.
Or I could just shit on trail names. At the end of my AT thru hike, literally probably like 3 days before we finished, I was so like just burnt out on thru hiking at the time and just sick of my trail name that another thru hiker, not just like some random person, like another thru hiker who was in it just like I was, asked me what my trail name was. And he actually asked our entire group. I was with like 3 other people. And they all went around and said their trail names to him. And then they got to me, and I was just like, I'm Kyle. And then all my friends looked at me, and they were like, what the fuck? Like, what is that?
Saying?
Like, you're not Kyle. You have a trail name. Like, what do you do? And I was like, I don't know, man.
I do get it though. I feel like Narnar, if I have to think of who is Narnar, I think of like someone who texts with the colon and the number 3 as the smiley face. Instead of just putting the other side of the parentheses.
It's a 16-year-old
Or
trail
like
name.
someone who uses meow as like a reaction. You know?
It's the kind of trail name a 16-year-old would choose.
Yeah.
And I was 16 when I chose it, so it
Were you
checks out.
16 when you got it?
Yeah.
You did the AT when you were 16?
No, I got it before the AT.
Oh, yeah, I
got it
remember that.
on a very failed hike of the long trail. Attempt.
We
of
know
the long
this because
trail.
we interviewed you about
Yeah,
it.
we
Time
probably
has
had
passed.
this entire conversation last time.
It was
to be honest,
250,000
but
subscribers
Zach's
ago.
like, yeah, we gotta move on.
No, it's good. I love it. All right. Well, Kyle, you're the best. Thank you so much. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
You have to leave. No, I'm just kidding. Let
Segments.
people know where they should go to follow you. Obviously, we talked a lot about the YouTube channel, but give us the full spiel.
Yeah, make sure you fucking smash subscribe, everybody, if you haven't already. That's right. That's how you do it. You see how shameless I was there?
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Do it again.
I can't do it a second time. That's not genuine. No, I appreciate everyone who came out, even if you don't even care who I am, which is probably about 90% of you. I still appreciate you guys coming. And Kyle Hates Hiking is the YouTube channel. I have a podcast called Trail Tales as well.
We did get one question asking when you're going to bring that back.
Oh, God, I knew those were going to start coming soon.
Are you not doing it right now?
Does anyone here listen to Trail Tales? Damn, really?
Yikes, I guess you got to bring it back.
Man, I appreciate you guys. I have a love-hate. I'll never say, actually.
Don't worry, no one's listening.
Yeah, no one's listening. You're among friends here.
I love Trail Tales. I started Trail Tales before I even started my YouTube channel, and I've been doing it since late 2018. Those of you that listen to the show a lot, I guess there's a couple of you know, you've heard me say this like fucking 500 times. I started the show literally the day after I got home from my Appalachian Trail through hike. It's the reason I'm here. And so it pains me that sometimes I just don't want to interview people. I mean, that's all it is. So I post very infrequently on there because I get inspired to interview people and then it goes away. And then it's not easy, and it's not always the most fun thing, honestly, for me. Which is saying a lot because I interview the most incredible fucking people out there, and so the fact that I still get a little. To be fair, that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was you see us joking and being funny up here.
Oh, we had the most serious interview
It was the most serious interview.
He called me in advance to vet me.
Did I? What?
Yeah, we had a 15-minute call.
I think I wanted to write questions down, and I wanted to hear more about you. That's what I.
So do you have anything interesting to
vet
say?
you?
I think that's how I took it.
I knew who you were. You were way bigger than me back then.
Time has passed.
That's probably why it was so serious.
Figuratively speaking,
yeah,
obviously.
Stop talking about how I look. Cool.
You said it, not me.
Zach said it.
Zach said
he
it, not
figuratively speaking.
Johnson's short.
Thanks.
That was the joke.
But that was the most serious interview. I was super serious, you were super serious, and I finished that interview being I don't think she hates me, but I'm not sure if she likes me. That's kind of how I felt at the end of it.
Well, I actually have a spin-off YouTube channel. It's called Juliana Hates Kyle. So I post videos every other day.
How have I not found it?
It's all
I'm going to
hate
post
mail.
on Reddit more. I'll see it there.
All right, guys. Well, let's give a round of applause for our man Kyle here.
Thank you.
Kyle Hates Hiking, Trail Tales. Follow all of his stuff. He's the best.
And thank you guys, too. This is awesome.
Thanks. We're not done, though.
Yeah, stay here. Keep drinking. We're going to do some segments. I'm going to skip the Trek propaganda because we usually just feature one of Katie's articles. So follow her account on the Trek, Katie Jackson. Yeah, Katie. She's the best.
And if you guys are getting hungry, borderless food truck downstairs.
That's right. We're going to do some segments, though. And are we going to do multiple of these questions?
No, I highlighted the one that I think we should do. It's the only one I prepared for.
Okay. All right.
A little biased.
That's how you get your
Today's
way.
question of the day is, what's the largest animal you could beat in a fight?
I've got some preamble for this. I brought this up to Garrett last night because Rachel, our one and only Rachel, she mentioned that she likes to judge people based on their answers to this. So I was like, all right, I'll ask my fiance. And he said a kangaroo. He's over there in that corner. And I told
Get on the mic, sir. Get on the mic. You have your chance.
I told Zach this. I sent it to the group chat. I'm like, Garrett thinks he could beat a kangaroo. I'm like, he's willing to die on this hill. And Zach's like, he actually will die on this hill.
There are many different sizes of kangaroos. We've all seen the jacked kangaroos. I'm not beating one of those guys.
There's a malnourished baby
The one that's
kangaroo
the roadkill.
with cancer.
Not a Joey. I'm not going to fight that. But there's the jacked ones. But we've all seen the video of that guy defending his dog and punching that kangaroo. If a kangaroo attacked Harper, I'd kill that kangaroo.
Yeah. I believe
That's my piece.
believe you could do it. I support you, honey.
Notice he said if he attacked Harper and not Juliana.
Yeah. No,
Chance, you got this one, babe. I love you.
Harper likes him more, and it's really like a sore spot in my life because like we'll be laying in bed, and I'll be like, Harper, come here, and she'll walk up to him and lay on his chest and just look at me. And it's so upsetting, but I've learned to live with it. She's both of our first dog, and I like her better too. So, sorry, I love you, Garrett. My answer to this is, I thought about this long and hard. The largest animal that I think I could beat in a fight is a sloth. Because I think I can't picture anything with like sharp things, me winning. That just doesn't seem possible. And anything large without sharp things, like I don't want to hurt it. But a sloth is so docile that I could just like take its arm and pin it down and count to 3, and I won the fight.
That's not how fights work.
It's wrestling. It's wrestling.
The fight's done when someone's dead.
That's not what this says. It says,
That's the lamest fight I've
what's
ever
the
fucking heard.
largest
Welcome to
animal
my dojo, Johnson.
you could beat in a fight, not you could kill.
All right.
But
I
I
talked a lot
don't.
about killing animals tonight.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Sorry about that, guys.
I haven't. I talked about a friendly fight with a sloth.
By the way, all the podcasts that outrank us in the wilderness category are hunting podcasts, so...
That's fair.
This
You
is
guys
our
are giving them a
moment.
run for their money.
Here's our in. What about you guys?
I have a couple. One is a shark.
No,
Like a-
you
Like a
couldn't.
great white shark. If it's on land, if I've got home court advantage, if that motherfucker's laying right here, I'm coming from behind and just wailing on the back of its head. Game over.
Zach, you can't beat up a beached shark.
Why not?
That's not a fair
I
fight.
don't remember seeing that as a stipulation in the question, so thank you very much. I win.
What are your other? Well, you said you had more.
I think like a full-grown deer, not a buck, not with anything sharp as he pointed out, but like
female deer, a
like
doe.
a doe, a deer, a female deer.
Right.
Yeah. I think even if it's really angry at me, its eyes are too pretty for me to lose that fight.
I think I could probably also beat a doe in a fight.
I would pay good money to see that.
They don't have sharp parts. They've got some teeth, but they're like flat teeth, I think.
I think a nice kick is a good. Anyways.
From me or the deer?
Yes.
Okay. Kyle, your turn.
Zach and I were on the same thought train for this question because.
Shark.
No, I was gonna go whale. Which is bigger than a shark. It's gonna take a while. Don't get me wrong. It's not gonna be like a quick in and out kind of thing. It's gonna take a while.
What are you
it's not gonna
doing
be
to this
pretty.
whale?
He's gonna
It's not
plug,
gonna be pretty.
He's gonna plug the blowhole.
I mean, honestly, if you leave it laying out of the water for long enough, isn't it just gonna die anyways? Like,
Yeah, but you're not beating
just
it then.
give it a few punches and then just fucking wait it out. Like,
If you get home court advantage, I'm just
So
saying,
you guys
odds are
are
in your favor.
Both of your answers.
we didn't plan this.
We're
either.
giving me shit for a sloth, but both of your answers, just to make sure I'm clear on this, are beached ocean animals.
A whale's fucking massive. Like,
Yeah, but you're on land. That's like saying
exactly. That's how you beat it. That was the question, wasn't it?
Okay.
What am I not understanding here? Like,
If we want to go to neutral territory, I could probably take like a bald eagle underwater.
or even a bear underwater, for that matter.
Yeah,
No, there's no way.
No,
There's no way.
That's Kyle.
Not in
No
the
way.
Hitchhiking thinks
Not
that.
in the water, under the water.
Still
with
no
a
for
scuba
me.
You're
tank.
also
for me,
under
dog.
the water?
I didn't think about that part. Shit. I didn't get that far.
I think they can swim. Yeah, they can.
Yeah, but
You ever see them catch salmon?
that's why I said under the water. But
Kyle's
I
gonna
didn't-
become the subject of this next video.
I'm also not a very good swimmer, so I probably should have thought that one through before I
Yeah,
said it
if
in
you're
front
not
of.
a good swimmer, maybe.
How many listeners do you get? Like
maybe no.
30,000?
There's like 12.
12?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not sure if
A
I
lot of
believe
them are
that,
only
but-
here for the food truck.
So that was our question of the day.
Today's question of the day. The next segment is the Triple Crown. Let's hear a round of applause if you guys are familiar with the Triple Crown.
This one is terrible.
Yeah. I pitched this one to Chance about 3 weeks ago.
I said no.
Yeah, and then I said yes.
Yeah.
And now we're
that's-
doing it.
That's
So
usually how compromising works at Backpacker Radio.
Yeah. So this is the Triple Crown of Euphemisms for masturbating. We're going to put our guest in the hot seat here first.
Masturbating?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
just-
never done it.
No, I
Because
know,
I'm not a
but-
fucking sinner. No. Choking the chicken.
Stop it! That's the first one on my list.
Someone likes to choke the chicken back there.
Look, that's my first one on my list.
Cross it off, dude.
Backspace.
That's the only one I have, dude. If it makes you feel any better.
I solicited Garrett's friend group chat. Shout out to Looney Tunes. It's a bunch of dudes in a frat that are no longer in a frat but have frat-like tendencies. So they gave me, brothers for life. They gave me some good options. So I'm really mad that you took my first one.
You have a whole list of shit other people gave you. Why are you so mad? Like, that's the only one I have.
Yeah. I can show you my list if you need help.
Yeah, for sure.
My first one is sending the kids to the orphanage. I'm sorry. This is really uncomfortable for me.
I like that you went with a male masturbating euphemism.
Well, it was males that thought. Actually, the next one's a female one, also thought of by a male.
What?
It's
All
a
right.
snake draft. I can't go yet.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Although
Yeah, that means
snake
I have to
draft
go
could
again then.
potentially
Fuck.
be one of the options. For my first pick, I'm gonna go with arm wrestling an eel.
Wow. Okay.
No. I got several no's on that one. You're not gonna like my next one then.
Garrett, over there, my fiance is literally texting me more.
Garrett, can you text me some? Because I'm fucking out over here.
Here's what he said.
For my next one, I'm gonna go with
That's a female one.
making a protein shake.
Oh.
All right, mixed response there. Mixed response.
You got another, buddy. No. Zach has
My
another.
Arizona friend really
snake
liked
draft.
that. Thank you, sir. Beers on me.
You have another.
I went two.
What was your first
Arm
one?
wrestling and eel.
Oh, yeah. Why
How
do
could
we
you
always
forget?
I always do this. Okay, so it's me again. These are so gross. These are so gross.
I will have honorable mentions.
Making the little guy cry.
It's a lot sweeter when it comes from you. If I would have said that, I would have been like, boo, fuck this guy. Put him on a list.
Yeah. No, that looks like it was Charlie's. Is that who C is? Who's got the C in Looney Tunes? That's Charlie. Yeah, thank you, Charlie.
I was in a fraternity too, so I feel like I should have more, but
Are you bowing out?
I don't have any funny ones. I mean, you could just say like jerking off, but that's not funny.
Oh, dude, this is a show for
Too
children.
far.
Oh, I got one. I mean, it's not that funny, but
Oh, I got one after you looked at
this
my
is-
phone.
it's actually not on this list.
Yeah, I
Flicking
bet.
the bean. My girlfriend cringes
It's
every
the first
time I say
one on
that.
the list. That's literally right there.
it is?
Yeah, it's the first one. Oh shit,
For the record, I thought of that on my own. I'm very smart.
it's right there.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, you
All
get
right.
another one.
I did say jerking off.
Here's
Like a
the
heathen.
list.
Cranking it, spanking it, shanking it,
Whoa.
Well, don't take them all.
He's getting greedy over here.
flanking it.
I
don't
never
know.
jerk off lists 10 in a row.
What you say? Frosting the peak.
Oh.
The mic's still open if anyone has something they really want to chime in with here. Nothing like making 100 people cringe simultaneously.
Yeah. Okay. The one that I knew leading into this is the only one I knew. I brought it up somewhere. Was hanging out with Jill. Because if you look at your hand, this was really cool when I learned it. Yeah. Sometimes people tell you things that like, you didn't ask to know, but then you're like, that's kind of cool. Apparently, when you hold up your hand, it spells Jill. And so you're spending some time with Jill. That was
That's
cool.
what I was going to say. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jack and Jill went up the
Yeah.
hill and then they masturbated.
Yeah, that's kind of clever.
Everyone knows that old.
Still gross.
All right, for my last one, I'm going to go guillotine the gecko.
How do you jerk off?
Did you get that from Chat GPT? Like,
I upset a lot of people with that one.
Zach's
which
just
is why I'm here.
routinely circumcising himself.
keep taking layers off. I think that's 3 for everyone.
Do you want the honorable mentions from the group chat? Oh, you know what? Actually, I hate to give Charlie credit. I think that was Cody. Cody, if you're listening, he'll be at the Austin show. We can talk to him about it then. Scratching the record, that's a female one.
Releasing the
We got
hostages.
an eh. Seating the sock.
Yeah.
I know, guys. It hurts me to say it too. My dad listens to this.
At least it's not his birthday.
Adjusting the antenna.
Burping the worm.
Tugging toad. Anyways.
Oh, tugging the boat was on this one.
All right. We can be done with that.
Yeah, thank you. Delete that note forever.
No one left. They're too mad to leave. Mailbag, Chance.
Okay. Okay, mailbag. I've been meaning to write to you and subscribe on Patreon for many months. You are the voices that keep me awake while driving home late at night after my 12-hour shifts. I was sure I was going to write after hearing the discussion about what you use to wipe your poop in the backcountry. Bare hand. Thank you. Okay. Then I was sure I was going to write after the Girl Talk episode and one of your guests said, breast milk is a living fluid. Parentheses, I'm a lactation nurse at a children's hospital. Is that true? Then I was definitely going to write in when I was mid-episode, and as soon as I got in the car with my 89-year-old mother, out of the speakers comes something along the lines of, actually, there is almost no space between the vagina and anus. I tried to explain that this was my backpacking podcast, but that would be a hard sell for anyone given the circumstances. Luckily,
Can I interject real quickly? These lights look like butt plugs, if I'm being honest. Okay, continue.
When did you have time to think that?
Just now, just off the top of my head. That's why I'm here.
Okay. Now we know
Look at the lights and tell me those are not the exact shape of a butt plug. Yeah, thank you.
Now we know what kind of things Zach likes.
I've been open about that.
Really? Have you had a butt plug in your butt?
No, I've never, but if we
Are
get
you
me
open
enough
to
beers
it?
tonight, I don't know.
That open to it.
If Jenna pulled out a butt plug and was like, honey, let's do this tonight, would you say yes?
No, we're married already. I already got the prize. If we were like dating and she wanted to be impressed, different conversation.
Okay. Oh, yeah. $10,000 for feeding the Carolinas, and then we also feed your butthole with butt plugs.
If we can come up with $10,000 here today.
Live at the Austin podcast, we will be putting a butt plug into Zach's anus.
Onlyfans.com/backpackerradio.
I think the audio guy's like waving us down right now. He's like, stop. Enough. Okay, anyway, back to this mailbag.
Wait, can we keep talking about Zach's butthole?
What about chickens?
Choking the chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we started
what I
with that
said.
one. We moved on to butt plugs.
Come on, town guy.
But thank you.
We should hire this guy. I like a
Yeah.
little interjection
I like
from
the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Next
Anyway.
guest.
Thanks, James.
Luckily, my mother can roll with these sorts of things. In any case, now I'm waiting for the shuttle to take me to the other end of the presidential range in the White Mountains for a backpacking trip, and I'm finally getting to it. So thank you for keeping me smiling, helping me learn more about backpacking, and regularly inspiring me. From Bells. Thanks, Bells. I'm sorry for your mom hearing that.
Thank you, Bells. If you guys want to hear your mailbag read on this podcast, podcast@thetrek.co to the 5-star review. This is Greg from Spokane. Great podcast for us aspiring through hikers. As a 50-year-old that just started hiking in the past 2 years, I find this podcast both very informative and very entertaining. I love the stories of the various trails that Chance, Zach, and others discuss, as it gives me great ideas for longer trails to do. As someone that would love to do a thru hike like the PCT, or the shorter trails like the Grand Teton and Colorado trails are very intriguing to me as I build my skills and endurance. The Zach's and Chance's honesty and openness to their mess-ups and success is great. This is my favorite hiking podcast. Well, Greg, you're my favorite 5-star review of today. If you guys want to hear your review read on this podcast, head on over to Apple Podcasts, and you can leave us any number of stars.
Just not 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Oh, does someone want to come up and say it? Here, whoever's closest that knows it. You come here. Run here. Run. Run.
On the
Run.
spot.
Run. Zach, say it again.
You can leave us any number of stars.
Just not 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, Maureen.
You guys ever read your 1-star reviews?
No.
Nah, we don't want to encourage
We
that.
want to discourage those.
They exist.
We actually will read anything mean that you write about us as long as it's a 5-star review.
All right, some
Not
shit.
anything. We've had
No, about us. I said we
mean
won't
things
read
about
mean things
Zach
about a guest.
and Sean's. Yeah.
If you say something mean about
If someone
a guest,
writes
we're
something
not
mean
gonna...
about me, I give you permission.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm asking for it now.
So if anyone wants to leave a
I realized that
5-star
after I
review,
said that.
shitting on Kyle.
And if you screenshot your review and send us that at podcast@thetrek.co, we will send you a sticker. Also, we have free Backpacker Radio stickers at that table back there. Be sure to check it out. We're doing a raffle fundraiser for the CDTC here in a minute. We're getting close to being there, Jordan, I promise. I know you've been waiting very patiently for us to stop talking about masturbating and killing dogs.
It's all hiking related.
We're a great
Ish.
rep for your wonderful org. But yeah, snag some free stickers, but also buy some raffle tickets because you're supporting the CDT and their wonderful organization.
Yes. Before we get to the part where you guys kind of like go do your own thing and scatter, if you are hungry at this point, Borderless Food Truck, if you've had it and you think it tasted good, please scan the QR code on the bar and leave them a review. They did me a big favor. Like I called them from work. And I was like, hey, this is professional of me. Can you do this? So please leave them a review, a nice one. And also, we are going to be doing a raffle. We have a bunch of fun stuff to give away. We have some Gossamer Gear stuff.
Yeah, Gossamer Gear forgot to send us stuff, but they were reminded at the last minute. So they sent us 3 $250 gift cards. So you can get a shelter, a pack.
We will accept that.
A bunch of...
That's actually better because now whatever we give you will fit. Because sometimes we have packs and it's like a large for a small gal. So that's great. And we also have Jolly Gear.
Yeah, speaking of things that don't fit, we've got some Jolly Gear shirts.
Yep, may or may not fit.
If you get something that doesn't fit you, give it to someone who does.
Make a friend with someone who won a Gossamer Gear gift card. We've got some other fun stuff. We're going to be giving it all away at 9 p.m. So you can get raffle tickets over there at the CDTC booth. And all the money goes to the CDTC. None of it goes to us. It's all for them. Raffle will be at 9. So stick around, hang out. We're going to be packing up these chairs after we're done. So just get out of your chair. When we're
Stop
done.
sitting. This is a backpacking podcast.
Stand the
Walk
fuck up.
around a little bit, for God's sake. Huge thank you to today's title sponsor, LMNT. This is the easiest plug of all time. We're all drinking a little bit, or I
It's
should
literally
say a
right
lot of
here.
us are drinking a little bit. Please drink some electrolytes. You'll feel 1,000 times better tomorrow. And I'm a big fan of all of their electrolytes. Yeah, there it is.
I have a fun idea. Let's all three of us point our microphones to the crowd, and everyone who picked up an element, just shake it like it's candy, and let's hear the sound of all the element we gave out tonight.
All right. 3, 2, 1. And they're all kind of jerking off, too. So,
So that's the sound of 100 people jerking off at once.
Well played.
Speaking of salty.
Yeah, for the audio listeners that did not pick that up, someone used the euphemism mixing the electrolytes.
This is going to be a fun meetup,
They're going to be
guys.
thrilled when they hear this, dude.
That's our
The
stay
people
salty
who come for just the meetup are going to be really confused by the energy we're bringing to it.
Imagine the people that came, the one person that came just because they like my mystery videos.
How many people do you think come because they like your mystery videos?
I just said it. One. But if you're out there, I appreciate it.
Thank you to our Chuck Norris.
I heard that.
Thank you to our Chuck Norris Award winners on Patreon, Alex and Misty with Navigators Crafting, Alex Kindle. We have a fire? Is that what we're
Yay,
gonna say?
books.
Andrew Austin McDaniel, Ben Love, Brad and Blair from 13 Adventures, Brent Stenberg, Brian Alsop,
Fables.
Christopher Marshburn, Coach from Marion Outdoors, Derek Cook, Eric Casper,
The Friendly Ghost.
Eric Hoffman, Jillian Daniels, Greg Knight, Greg McDaniel,
May I bring honor to his name?
Griffin, hey, would you bring me a beer? Haley Buckingham,
Alice.
Liz Seeger, Mud, Tom, Patrick C. and Cielo, Rebecca Brave, Sawyer Products, Spam, Timothy Hahn,
Solo.
and Tracy Trigger.
Tons.
Nice.
That was a good
Extra
one.
shout out to our guy, Paulie. Go get some of his delicious beans at ommcr.com.
Opa.
Party foul. You can follow us on social. You can follow Kyle on social.
You can.
What's your social?
At Kyle Hates Hiking on everything, I think.
Perfect.
Yeah.
At Backpacker Radio on Instagram and TikTok. At Backpacker Pod on X, Facebook.com/Backpacker Radio. You can follow Chance.
You can find me on Instagram at Juliana_Chauncey, on YouTube at Juliana Chauncey, and you can get my book, Hiking from Home, a long-distance hiking guide for family and friends, on Amazon or in this raffle at 9.
Appalachian Trials. I've got a couple copies for the raffle, Pacific Crest Trials, whatever. Subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on YouTube. You got to watch Jabba get his beard shaved today, which was magnificent.
Yeah.
Can we get another round of applause for Tom? Jabba, Viking, what a hero. Guy literally destroyed his brand to feed some people in the Carolinas, so what a hero. We love that guy. Thank you so much, Tom. And that is it for today's show. Big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for making it out to this. You guys sat through. And that's it for today's show.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for listening and happy hiking.
Bye.